lift off. Yes, 1:30 it is on a Saturday. It is another Racing Post Live coming your way. Dave Orton, thrilled to be back in the seat. Morebattle Day, is that what we call it up at Kelso? Greatwood Day at Newbury. Grimthorpe Day at Donny. Not a lot of rain on the horizon, guys, is there? Will that change next week in the run-up to the Cheltenham Festival? Yes, the slowest week in the world is upon us. Before it kicks in, let's have some fun, shall we, this afternoon, covering all the races coming your way, starting off at 1:50 with the Morebattle. We're going to be showing you all about the Racing Post app, the finest talent we've got. If something happens on the racecourse, we will react. The best anti-post reaction in the business, and of course loads of tips coming your way as well. Like, share, comment and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, let us know. This is your chance on a Saturday, as I always say. You make the show to have your say. Let us know. Let's have the Cheltenham bankers. Come on, let's go crazy. All winter, people say it's too soon for Cheltenham chat, too soon for Cheltenham chat. Surely not now, is it? There's a gravy train going on. And let me introduce my panellist with that in mind, because he's been covered in Bisto, haven't you? All over the place. Mattie, Batchelor's back.
Great to be back, Dave.
Great to have you.
New hip, new me.
How is that going?
Yeah, it's good, yeah. I'll run here today from Brighton. Feel like the Bionic Man.
A few hedges on the way, a couple of cheese wedges. Yeah. That's it, fantastic. And this is one of those days, mate. We're going to put on a lucky 15 for the Indian Jockeys Fund. Those who are the regulars to the show will know that we partnered up with them a couple of weeks ago, all the way up to Gold Cup Day at Cheltenham, and there's nice profit for them. Every bet we place on the app, best odds guaranteed it will be, of course. All the bookmakers out there available for us to choose from. We will put a nice check to the IJF, who you were a recipient of a hip operation from.
I was, yeah, and I'm truly grateful for that, yes.
So we better get some profit, Graeme Rodway. Gandalf joins us back.
Yeah, good to be here. Do I sound excited?
Yeah, listen.
Excited as ever.
Your nap in the lucky 15 today, I've been working on this line, sums up your career almost. Doesn't it?
Well, what? He's a little bit...
The name of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
You know, it really does. The more you think about that, G-Rod, the more it makes sense. There we go. There's the graphics up on the show. We've got Mission Control. We've got, Sam Hart is coming around, but we've got Will Carey and Dave Lowe in Mission Control today. What could possibly go wrong? We kick off with a lucky 15. Download the new app. Where is it? There you go. Absolutely. Which one is it? Anyway, it's there. It's easy. It's free, which is the most important thing. We're going to have some fun. We're playing for the Cup as ever. We can probably get the scores up from last week. I somehow got gubbed in that. You come and have a go.
Got knocked off your perch last week, Dave.
I did.
Posty and Natalie.
He who wears a heavy crown, Batch.
Oh, this is true.
There you go. Oh, look at that. Posty and Nat. Somehow dead-heated. Dave Orton only third. At least Melrose, the betting editor of the Racing Post, was propping up the field. We had a great day. Kitty's light was ridiculous, wasn't it? And we will be talking you through each and every race. We'll have a little pause just to let you know the race is off, and off we go. We know some of you don't have the pictures out there, so we'll be doing our best to call it. We'll be looking in running angles, all that sort of stuff. So let's hear from you. Come on, today's a day of celebration of our great sport out there. This is one of those weekends, guys, isn't it, where you're thinking to yourself, safe gambling and all that. Let's not go too heavy. But we're bonus hunting in the first race. Whatever wins, of course, the Shunter did it a couple of years ago. He is in our final race, the Shunter. That's the Premier Chase at Kelso. We go off air after that. Stick with us this afternoon. Let us know you're out there. Where are you? Let's be having you, as Delia once said. And there you go, the market there. So it's the Morebattle. We then go back down to Newbury, don't we? I'll tell you what, I'm really looking forward to that Grade 2 as well, the Premier Novice Hurdle. My Drogo, do you remember he won that a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
I thought it looked very, very difficult.
Will we see a Grand National winner today?
No.
Tumbleweeds went across the screen there. We've got the Milos, of course, and the Shunter.
Yeah, it's a weird race, isn't it, that one? The Premier Chase. Is that the Premier Chase, they call it?
Yeah, Premier Chase. Cloth cap, of course.
Yeah.
Many Clouds won it.
Weird race, isn't it? Only 4 in it.
Yeah.
But, the Milos should win.
You've got a nap, I've got a nap, Batch has got a nap, and we're going to stick in Paul Keeley's bank up for the lucky 15 as well. So let's get this out of the way, because Jamie John Bon Philby is clipping up everything on social for us. Hashtag RP Live if you want to get involved in the chats. You can contact us via that medium. And he wants to get this lucky 15 for the Indian Jockeys Fund there. So shall we get the app up? And Graeme Rodway can put it on, hopefully. What are you playing with your mic for?
That's really annoying me. I'll sort it out.
That's a good start for me and Batch.
All right. Where are we going for the lucky 15? Should we kick off with
Batch is
210,
first.
wasn't it?
No, it's 150 is the Morebattle.
150 in the
150, okay,
Morebattle.
So
sorry.
you were listening to the rehearsal, G-Rock.
Sorry, yeah, 150 at Kelso, the Morebattle. Oh, I like this one as well, Batch. Yeah.
Teddy Blue.
Teddy Blue. Gary Moore going up to the borders to try and get a bit of pot hunting.
I'll tell you what, Gary don't send many up there, does he?
Well, I text Josh this morning because I was almost certain that is Gary's first ever runner at Kelso.
I'm going to check this.
It is. You
I'm
don't
going
need to check it. You don't need to check it. I'm right.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Sometimes they don't know.
110%.
Okay, brilliant.
It's a long old way,
Because
isn't it?
Josh said, yes, it is his first and it'd probably be his last because this took us 2 days and 3 days.
It better win then, hasn't it? Right.
Yes.
So then we're going to 210, aren't we, for Kills' Kills' good thing.
Well, this is in the Veterans Hurdle. It's not named a Veterans Hurdle, but it's for 8-year-olds plus, isn't it?
You know Kills...
Why not call it a Veterans Hurdle then? They've got the Veterans Final there today.
Yeah.
Well, so you're not a veteran if you're 8, though, are you?
Well, it's you've got to be 8 plus, haven't you? So
Anyway...
you're borderline veteran if
Kills
you're 8.
does well in these veterans type of races, you know, because he's a veteran himself, of course. So, what does he fancy? Give me a moment. I think Give Me a Moment was the
Give
one,
me a
wasn't it?
moment it is. He made a very good case for it on What a Shout yesterday. Great to have Max McNeil on that, by the way, yesterday, wasn't it, guys? If you watched that interview, it was really good speaking.
Did you ask him about Adrian Heskin?
What about him?
No, is he any good?
I'm not.
It must be, he got the job.
Well, of course he did. Listen, I'm not going to be bitten by
I'm
that
teasing, I'm teasing.
one. I'm not going to be bitten by that one. Right, so they're the first 2 legs, okay? I know we often open the floor, but we're going to put in a Saturday bank here. Of course, if you're members club, there's an offer out there at the minute. It's 50% off your first 3 months. If you've not joined, that's just $19.98. I mean, I go into a pub and before I've even bought a drink, I've dropped to 20. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous these days. So
What's that much for a pack of Paul Scratchings now, don't it?
Absolutely, quite right. Absolutely. It's more than that for Batchelor services, I can tell you. But if you've got to spare 20 quid going, let me tell you this. If you want to really get stuck in to the festival, and we're going to be talking about the Ultimate Guide, which dropped yesterday, of course. Tom Park edited that with Andrew Pennington. Absolute masterpiece. And listen, okay, that is 1, 2, 3 legs. It's up to me to bring home the bacon today. And I'm doing it in the Premier Chase. And it's the Shunter. Get up the Shunter. I fancy that today. Emmett Mullins has got 3 runners, of course. A very successful day this was, thanks to the Shunter, who, when it first became a handicap, the Morebattle, at 150, it's made it so much of a better race, but we'll talk about that in the lead up to it. We've got around about 15 minutes before that jumps off. He took it out with the Shunter, who then went and won the plate and got the 100 grand bonus. Bet365 have put this in, and it's been a great initiative because it obviously was the Imperial Cup, wasn't it? Which was the original bonus that dwindled after this. So I'm going to go for the Shunter. That is the lucky 15. Did you put it on?
Hold on, we haven't done my one yet.
Oh, what is it? Sorry.
Come on, look, he's not interested, is he, in what I've got to say? 245 at Newbury. You've already teased the viewers, haven't you, about this one? The Big Bite.
Which is you in a nutshell, isn't it?
You know, this horse, he is really well handicapped. He's running off an mark £11 lower than when he was third in the race 2 years ago, and he threw away the win that day. You know, he's a bit of a dog, but he likes, he likes Newbury, and he's got the cheap pieces on, which might help him.
And what time is that? 2:45, the Greatwood Gold Cup, isn't it? It's a lovely race in its own right. Paul Nicholls has won 9 of the last 10, hasn't he? And he's got a really interesting runner there. One of 2 that Paul Keeley has backed if you're reading the Sizzlers today in the Saturday edition or online. And he's also gone for the Big Bite, so he would agree with you on this one. If it's going to be a day, it's probably today for him, isn't it?
Yeah, this will be the day, I think.
It's an each-way lucky 15. We didn't do that last week. Melrose, your compadre, he put it just win on, and it would have been. I tell you what, we went close last week.
Yeah.
Did you?
Woo! Yes, we did. That's another close shave.
I have a feeling that it won't let us do an each way lucky 15 here, Dave, because I think you've gone for one in a race where there's only 4 runners in the race, isn't there? And you're not allowed to bet each way in 4 run races, are you? You know, some of us understand betting and some don't. So.
We could all tip a different horse in that race and still get it wrong, couldn't we?
It's a bit of a puzzle, but I'd really fancied a Shunter.
Yeah.
There is something running at 3:10 at Navan. Am I allowed to put that in, or does it have to be?
I've done it for you now. I've done it now. We're on. It's for a win. £5,711 for the Jockey Club.
All right, there you go. All right, so if you just want to have a little outlay today with a bit of fun with us, and we're going to shout these home along the way, basically that's what you want to be doing. Teddy Blue in the 150. What was it? What's the other one? Give me a moment.
Give me a moment.
On the screen. The Charity Lucky 15, the Big Bite, and the Shunter, who's been very well backed. Of course, Zanza doesn't go in that, does he? He now turns up at Newbury.
Yeah, Newbury. Yeah.
Don't fancy him today.
You don't fancy Zanza?
No.
It depends which Zanzar turns up. the other day in the Denman, wasn't it? But he has there's a long time between drinks with him, isn't there?
This is one of my new theories. I don't know if you read my Weekender column this week, but I think that the time off sometimes that a horse has between his races can tell you a lot about how they might run.
Yeah.
And a lot of Zanza's best runs have come off a bit of a longer break than this. So it's quite a fast turnaround for Zanza, 3 weeks since. And that was a big performance as well, wasn't it? You know.
He's missed the Newbury, but so's Paint the Dream, last year's winner. We'll get to that. It's 2:45. One of the comments of the What a Shout season, we have Max McNeil on. I always ask viewers on a Friday to get the comments in. I'm just going to name check it before we move on to the Morebattle, which Mission Control are telling me to do. Simon O'Neill, take a bow. Dave, get on Zanza for the Lockinge. That's how much he likes Newbury.
No,
that's a great.
That is a good one. I get that. Yeah,
maybe sharpen that.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah.
But anything Zanza does, I wouldn't be at all surprised if he took this out. But he was $1 million to run as long as the ground was all right at Kelso. This is his race really. But there's a very well backed Venetia Williams horse in that as well. There's been some volatile markets as you might expect. We are coming close to the Cheltenham Festival, and it's a last chance I think for something to throw its hat into the ring today. Starting at 150 then, let's get the market up for the mighty Morebattle. And I call it the mighty Morebattle because, my lord, it's competitive as it should be. I've got business with this race, guys. I've had the second in it for the last 2 years. Night edition of Pipes, who
What's
came
going to finish second this year then, Dave?
Well, that's what exactly I'm about to tell you, Batch.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, I'm about to tell you. I'm going to get out of the way then. I like Benson for Sandy Thompson. I like Benson, who came back to form last time over 2 mile 4. He's got some good back class though when he was trained by Dr. Richard Newland, the good doctor. There's 1 or 2 for the owners in there. They've got Collingham as well, who we saw winning on the show really well. I think it was New Year's Day, wasn't it? It was the first. Yeah, it was New Year's Day. It was. Collingham absolutely hagged up under Chelly Mags, but I think their best hope is Benson. Ryan Mania, Sandy Thompson. This is Sandy Thompson's big day. He's obviously a local trainer. I think they'll make plenty of use of him. I think he'll be fine on the ground. And a 12-1 shot, Benson for me. What are you going for out there? Let us know. Now's the time to get this rocking and rolling. We know what you two are on, of course, because it's Lucky 15 time.
Yeah, I think Teddy Blue and what I was harping on about earlier, Gary. I'd say he's never sent a horse up to Kelso. Good run in the Betfair Hurdle last time out, behind Chris Gordon's horse.
Yeah.
And you have to respect McTeague of Emmett Mullins.
Can we talk about McTeague? I'm getting fatigue talking about this and trying to think about it because it's a real head scratcher, G, isn't it?
Yeah, well, the 4-year-old record in open handicaps is not actually that good this season.
Terrible, Keels was saying to me yesterday.
So, yeah. So you were automatically saying, well, you know, how much of a use of the allowance is he going to make? And has he got the form to win the race? Not at all. Not at all, Dave. Not at all.
Right, but this is a guy, as Tom Siegel, if you read Price-wise, I love Tom's line, Emmett plays a different game to everyone else.
Yeah.
You just cannot work out what he's doing half the time, and it's very successful.
Well, that's the point, isn't it?
We're hearing about another big JP purchase this morning, of course, for them. Paul Byrne gets these decent horses. It's almost a bit of a slight on McTeague that he hasn't been bought by the great man yet, but the shunter carried these colours to success and in the plate, and then went to Aintree, of course, in the green. And
JP might as well just employ Paul Byrne to buy his horses, mightn't he? Because whenever he gets a good one, JP's in to buy it. But I will say, won't we? Not for me, because he's not got the form to win it, and he's a 4-year-old going against older horses. But if you're backing him, I don't put you off him, because Emmett Mullins, anything he trains and sends here runs well.
It was awful behind Lossiemouth, wasn't it? On St Stephen's Day, But
was that the day?
I must admit, I haven't.
Not really.
You have to argue that.
Probably not.
If you win a Grade 2 in France, you obviously know, Mark, aren't you? I wouldn't profess to know a great deal about the French form. I've been, honing in domestically and stuff.
But he's gone around one of the toughest tracks in France as well. You're not in the provinces. You're Ortiel.
Did you ever get a spin around there?
Not. I went down to Chateaubriand. Yeah.
Did you? Well, that was tasty.
They hated me going around. They don't like it.
No.
Oh, I remember going around there, and they are looking. They're looking to see where you are to do you. They're going out their way to. They don't like you going over there.
They don't like
Not
it
at all.
Well, we're going to see a couple of French horses in the stayers, of course, aren't we? But we are talking about a race that you will be bonus hunting. So if Teddy Blue wins this, he goes to the county hurdle, right?
Yes.
That's the aim.
Yeah, and the good thing about Teddy Blue, having just spoken about, we've seen he can back up race after race after race because he's done it before. I think 2 of his best runs have come off short breaks, 11 days and 12 days, and no doubt Gary Moore will have had that in mind here with the bonus. That can be the only reason he's going up there, can't it?
Strong market this though, isn't there? There's been, I mean, if you look at, you've got last year's winner Cormier, number 3 in the handicap here. He's a 25-1 shot this year around.
He's not out of it, is he?
Not out. No, he's. Do you know
He
what?
likes Kelso.
People are probably sick of me saying this if you've watched me on these preview shows since Cormier ever started running. I never quite get him right. Calico won the first race there, you could see then. For Dan Skelton, big day for him, of course, Laminos' trainer, paid a piper. Would you have put that up again today, paid a piper?
Did that win paid a piper?
Second, you can see it down there.
I think he's a bit of, I think he's a bit of a Musselburgh horse, so I probably would have left him alone. But
that was in the Nick Alexander Memorial.
Can I just give a mention to Colonel Mustard? Because
yes.
I like horses that are named after pieces from Monopoly. Not Monopoly, what's it called? Cluedo.
Cluedo, that's it.
Cluedo, yeah.
In the drawing room with the
candlestick.
With the hammer, yeah.
The other day there was also one called Miss Scarlet that I quite fancied. I'm sure she was in Cluedo.
Now tumbleweeds going across everyone's head at the moment.
You're showing our age, D-Rod. Professor Green.
He's a very interesting horse, isn't he, Colonel Mustard? Do you remember Mark Orosky, who was once on the show, called him Colonial Mustard?
Yeah, but he calls that plus tard.
Plus tard. It hasn't quite worked for him over fences, this chap, has it? But they're coming back now, basically. They couldn't get him qualified for handicap because he's only had the 2 runs. And he was behind El Fabiolo when we last saw him in December, but he was 3rd to State Man in what was a very hot.
I should probably just say, because probably everyone on Twitter now probably does seriously think that I picked my horses because they're Cluedo pieces. No, there is actually a reason why.
There's a lot of people saying you haven't got a Cluedo, of course. This can go on.
There is actually a reason.
With the candlestick, says Simon O'Neill. Simon, I'm loving these comments out there.
There is actually a reason why Colonel Mustard can win, because he's got that Grade 1 form, hasn't he, from last season.
Yeah.
Like, he contested the race at Aintree, in which I think the one that John Bond won. Certainly one of those Grade 1s.
Yeah.
And he was 3rd in the county, maybe?
He was. I just said he was 3rd in the county.
Sorry, I wasn't listening, obviously, because you were talking. No, 3rd in the county is a very good run too. So he has got the form that can give him a chance, Colonel Mustard. And Lorna Fowler's got a couple of runners there today, isn't she?
Yes. Formerly Lorna Bradstock, wasn't she, of course? Remember her? She used to sit on telly quite a bit, didn't we? Mark Bradstock's sister.
Is that right?
That's right, isn't it?
No.
Who's that?
Lorna Fowler.
Lorna Fowler, yes.
Used to be Bradstock.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, we
I didn't know that.
Sam Thomas's horse, Dear Mark. That's that one with a little bit to spare last time.
Well backed as soon as the markets went up, Dear Mark, and we need to talk about Sam Thomas. Our power to be a right old favourite on the show last Saturday, and he's just a man that gets them ready, isn't he? But at the moment, are we putting a bet on, or are we happy to let this slide?
No, I think we should back Teddy.
Well, you better be quick, because that 4-1 is about to evaporate.
Well,
is there any still left on the app?
We can do it quick. Should we have a 10 on him?
If it is 4-1, I'd be happy with that, because we're just seeing it's a queue at the moment.
We're having 15-4 because I think he's being backed, isn't he, Teddy?
Yeah.
But I just think he'll win this day.
He's going to give us a steer on the Betfair Hurdle form, of course, and a lot of people will be already thinking about this is going to be when it County Hurdle comes along. The second Friday Bay there of Everett Runners, everyone's all over this.
It's
so
always
a positive run.
Always one of the strongest handicap hurdles run all season, isn't it?
The Betfair Hurdle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It
was a funny old race because 2 came clear and it was odd ground, wasn't it?
Well, that happens at Newbury though over hurdles, doesn't it? It's that it is a front runner's track round there.
Yeah.
2 miles, and Orcan Risk was very, very good, wasn't he, from the front? But he was well handicapped, wasn't he, on his best form, Orcan Risk. Very well handicapped.
Oh, I mean, it was a proper gamble, Orcan Risk. I couldn't see it. I mean, Chris Gordon's just absolutely electric.
I backed it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Was that on the say so of Dave Lowe and Nick Schofield? Because we had him on What a Shout. He told us it would go well.
No.
Don't pretend you weren't watching.
I didn't know.
What about Lowe?
Johnny Henderson, and he had Cheltenham, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the favourite for that.
Favourite for that.
Yeah. He had a battle colic straight afterwards. They were going to go to the Kingwell, if you remember that. Well, they said that was the plan, but he's apparently fine from it. It was a dodgy batch of feed, and they're all better. What about Tritonic in here? Spoke to Max McNeil. Apparently did an electric piece of work with Edwardstone. In the week, Max told us. That was a great line that we got yesterday. If you haven't seen that, what a shame. If you go and check it out.
He's quite exposed, isn't he? He's quite exposed, isn't he?
You said that with a yawn. I mean, you're that tired about his career, are you?
I'm quite tired at the moment because, Cheltenham's just around the corner.
He's taking it out of you, isn't it?
Cheltenham's just around the corner. I'm just finishing off this, which will be out in next week's Racing Post. You can read it. I'm just finishing off this masterpiece of a Mullins article.
It's taxed you, isn't it?
That is,
How many words, Shearod?
It's 2,000 words, this piece.
Told us that about 20 times.
And it's full of statistics about Willie Mullins. So if you're interested in how Willie Mullins is going to do at this Cheltenham Festival, get a copy of the Racing Post next week. I don't know which day it's on.
Will it be on the app?
I'm sure it will be on the app eventually, but it'll be for premium subscribers, of course.
Yes, but we do flirt that across like we do on this show, of course. This is free, guys. Get involved. This is, we're going to tell you everything that's going to happen this afternoon. When something reacts, so will we. And they are lining up for the Morebattle.
What about Luttrell Lad as well? Because I tipped him in the Weekender the other day. Because he goes well fresh, and he's having his first run for Tom Lacey, having left Philip Hobbs. And Lacey won the Betfair Hurdle, in with Glory and Fortune last year, with a horse coming off a decent break, wasn't it?
This guy's unbeaten fresh kills said yesterday, made the case for it on
I think he's got a chance.
He's a horse that won his bumper on this week a couple of years ago. He won the Taunton bumper this week. I remember backing him in it, and he pulled like stink and did it all the way. He was a very keen horse. They tried to put him on the flat. He was still keen there. Who's lining up in front, Batch? Well, what sort of gallop are we going to go here? But all
We've
out.
got Matie's lying up there, Tritonics up there. There's a few bang up there already.
The Tedster's right out the back.
We haven't mentioned Low de Sud, of course, for the Skeletons, who always aim at this meeting. My Drogos, who said...
Colonial Mustard's up there.
Colonial
Mustard. I bet he's backed him today, old Horosky. All right, so let's try and see what goes on then. As we develop, good luck for the lucky 15ers that are out there. Good luck whichever way you're going to play in the first. It's 150 here on Racing.
This is going to be one up for Mattie and me.
Yes.
What have you tipped this? Because we're playing for points here. It's just to remind you out there, guys. You can do this at home as well. We know some people do that. It's 5 for a win, 3 for a second, and 1 for a place, I believe. Unless they're going to tell me.
So you got the 3 because we get second every year.
Oh, I get the second. So I'm
3 points in the bag.
Sandaroo, it was called last year. It came up against Cormier, and Cormier, of course, is a horse I kept backing. I jumped off, and he did me. And I was on Sandaroo at like 14, something like that. And Night Edition, who had a bit of seconditis about him, unfortunately didn't quite fulfil what he should have done. He was behind the shunter.
Just passed on something that the anorak Melrose told me the other day. Which is that
we're off.
They're off, but this supposedly is one of the biggest front runner biases on the hurdles track at Kelso in Britain and Ireland.
Really? So this is where you want to be up front. So who's leading then?
I don't know, but they're going a hell of a pace. They ain't messing about.
Clear White Light, one of the outsiders, Irish trained. First time blinkers, Jack Hogan tied a little right. He is taking them along at a right old go. 36 miles an hour on the RTV clock. Woohoo! And who's pulling like stink? Because we want to see Teddy Blue settling, and if it's going to happen...
He's settling, he's niggling him. That's how quick they go.
I mean, that's ridiculous, isn't it? So, Clear White Light then for Edo Keatley, who's got no entry at Cheltenham, but he comes here pot picking, first time blinkers, he's rather lit up. Who's keeping him company? Wajaha for Patrick McKenna. So it's the Irish leading the way. We're getting ready for that in a couple of weeks' time, aren't we? Looking for the others then. Colonial Mustard, he's up there as well. Willabowski. Somebody's gone. What was outside the seat, wasn't it?
Benson.
No, it's not Benson.
No.
No.
I think it's Collingham.
It's Collingham has gone.
They're very similar colours.
Similar colours, yeah.
So he digs the same colours, just different hats. Thank God I'm here. Teddy Blue then in midfield. Dear Mark's, despite a decent gallop,
he's pulling.
He's pulling really hard. If you're on the Gamble
with Dear Mark,
let's look for McTeague. G, I want you to go on McTeague, Cam, if you will. He's focusing on the inside.
Travelling well, travelling. Got a good position, hasn't he?
Perfect position. They mean business here. Donal Minor and Emmett Mullins. They got, of course, something coming on for Onolly, who's fascinating. He's been on the drift today in the Premier Kelso Novice Hurdle. Coming up after this, and then they've got the Shunter, which takes us off air around about 3:35. Looking for something on the inside that's catching my eye there. Tritonic's in a good place looking at it. This is the first time he's been under 140, I think, ever.
Is it?
Yeah, he won the big Ascot handicap. You'll remember his last success. That was 1-for-1, I think it was, that he won off. And they said he was in a great place, and look, he probably won't go to Cheltenham, actually. Maybe they'll be very tempted by it. Looking for Luttrell Lad, he's settled all right.
Teddy's in position, Zed, is he not? He's right on the outside. He's
brilliantly
struggling to
named
go to
El Muchacho. Dear Mark just doesn't look happy at all. Cormier's got it all to do. What's this out the back? I'm trying to call them all Nayati as well for Donald McCain. He's out the back.
What's that at the back?
And there is no doubt. I think that's Luttrell, isn't it?
Lost his irons.
Is that Luttrell Lad?
It looks like Luttrell Lad. That's his old colours, yeah. Something's gone wrong there. Sean Bowen, I assume Tacker's gone. All right, then we're on the far side. This is what Keith Melrose says. If you lead, you win. Let's find out. Low Sud trying to fill his own. Dear Mark now has got himself back in a good place. Tritonic taken off his feet. McTeague is in pole position. Teddy Blue's there. Colonial Mustard. This is State Man form here.
Colonial Mustard is travelling, isn't he?
This is 3 out, guys.
So
we'll
on my
find
own
out.
though,
Lovely surface, isn't it,
Uphill as
Kelso
well.
today at
Yeah.
the borders. At the moment, then over we go. He's got about a length on them. I tell you what, Wodger Hart
jump,
is absolutely.
can he, Teddy?
Yeah, he ran 6 days ago. He's absolutely cruising. All of a sudden, these guys are getting excited. This used to be
Come
the
on,
Charles
Ted!
Francis leader.
Come on,
McTeague
Ted.
is absolutely out on his feet.
Yeah,
He won't be
McTeague's
winning
gone.
anything. Lebowski's not gone for it yet, but he's seeing them all in.
Colonial Mustard is
No
cruising.
Sud at the moment. Benson outpaced. They've probably got the tactics wrong on him. Dear Mustard coming on the outside. Dear Mustard.
Dear
Mark
Mustard,
coming
come on,
the
dear
outside.
Mustard.
Don't like the way Teddy Blue's going, guys. He
Oh.
needs to fill his lungs. And Neil is
Yeah.
going to win this.
Come on, Ted.
Come on, Teddy.
Oh,
Listen,
it's
they're
hard
getting
work, but he's
excited in
getting
the
there.
studio.
Come on, Teddy.
Clear white
No,
lights
he's
had
not.
enough. I think
Come on,
this stays
Teddy.
there in front, doesn't it?
Oh,
Wodger getting weight from
maybe
pretty much
Melrose
everything.
is going to be right.
This is
I'll
some
tell you what,
performance.
Colonial Mustard, Low Sud is coming.
What's this, Grails?
This is the
Don't
Low
load the
de
Sud.
Sud. This
Don't
is
scale
in the Hermes Allen colours. We're coming to the last. Colonial Mustard takes it massive, the Mustard, isn't
Colonial
he? This is
Mustard.
State Man
Oh,
form.
it's Benson.
Come on, the Benson.
Where's he
Couldn't
come
possibly
from?
do it, could he?
Nah.
Come on, Benson, up you come and
He'll
eat
be
that
second.
hill.
He'll be
Come on,
second.
Benson, up you
He's
go.
gonna win it.
Benson's going to get in, the maniac. Aye, happy days. I'm going to scream that one home. Lovely jubbly in the Morebattle. Sandy Thompson, the local
Sandy
trainer,
Thompson.
takes out the Morebattle Hurdle. That is one for your videos, guys. As they say out there, a couple of eye catchers. What a race the big horse has run in second. Kieran Buckley must have thought he had it, guys. And then that hill, he won over 2 mile 4 last time. I thought they got the tactics wrong. It was a peach batch.
Absolute peach, yeah. It takes from 3 out, you're on the incline all the way. It takes you have to have a bit of stamina. And you know what, the horse in front, the Irish horse, it couldn't. The gallop it set off at, surely it couldn't last up that hill. Oh, here we go. Gee.
Long way to go.
Long way to
Long
go,
way to
yeah.
go yet.
There's
Young-
a long way to Tipperary. But Dave Orton streaks into the lead. Yeah, normal service resumed here on Racing Post Live this afternoon. I'll tell you what, that was unlikely, I think. We'll sort of find out what he went on Betfair for you on the exchange, because it must have been
Well,
very
I think
big
the
indeed.
race has panned out absolutely perfectly for him, hasn't he? Because he's a very strong stayer at the trip, and a nice stiff track. They've gone really hard.
Really hard, yeah.
And he's come home best of all.
They've obviously done a great job with the track, haven't they? Because he does like a bit of dig underfoot as well.
I have a feeling that that's going to be a good race going forward, because
Yes.
they've gone hard. It's a solidly, truly run race throughout.
Thrilled about that.
Teddy Blue clouted a few, didn't he?
He didn't jump well enough.
Nah.
He didn't travel well enough, but he's obviously got a lot of ability, because he was bang
You're
there.
being a bit harsh on Teddy Blue there.
Why?
I thought he ran his race. Looked like come a bit soon for me.
I suppose he did look a little
He
bit
settled. He
lacklustre.
had his chance. 2 out. He was there.
I don't know. I thought he was going to 3 out. He just kept him.
You've got the rose-tinted glasses
Could
on
still-
there.
He kept up to niggling him a little bit to get him
Could
back.
still win at Cheltenham.
What? Absolutely not in a million years. Talking about the winner, he's 134. Do you get a £4 penalty or something like that? I think, don't you? £4 or £5, but he's in the Gold Cup, and he is, and probably will get a run if they wanted to go in the Martin Pipe as well. Does that still bookend the festival? The Martin
Yes.
Pipe? It's still the
Yeah,
last
yeah,
race.
yeah.
You never know. They're moving about. McTeague was a disappointment there.
Yeah.
wasn't he?
Yeah,
Funny,
very. Yeah, fell out the telly.
Probably not been in a race like that in his life, has he? Yeah, like a real proper, truly run against
Yeah.
big, solid handicappers going proper pace, and
Yeah.
he was found out. Yeah, Colonel Mustard, he is obviously a very good horse in that type of race, because he was third in the county hurdle last
That's
year,
very solid form.
and that is very strong form.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's not out of going there and winning at Cheltenham, is he? Next week or the week after?
It's got to be something better handicap than him, hasn't it?
Maybe.
He just didn't, for whatever reason, he hasn't taken defences. He ran a mighty race there, because how much weight was he given to Benson? Let's have a look. Let's see. He was giving it. He was giving it £7. So it was always a tough task up there.
But
Benson got a great leap at the last, didn't he, as
the
well?
fact that he can travel so well off such a good gallop, you know, that's big when it comes to big races.
11-1 was your SP out there. Hopefully some of you followed me in out there. Let me know if you did. See a few of you saying, "Oh, I'm not sure if the ground was right for him," and we'll give you the time quickly as well. 2-0 Man City we're hearing out there as well. Beating Newcastle, got a bit peak tongue for Newcastle, isn't it? I guess it was going so well for them. We go to 2-10 at Newbury. We go to next, and I've got a project horse running in this.
Are you with Christian here?
I'm not with Christian
I'm
actually.
with Christian.
Are you pylon?
Yeah,
Piling
pylon.
on.
Yeah, I'm piling on pylon.
Early on.
That is the market for the next 210. What's the race called? Let's find out. It's probably a Greatwood sponsored race, isn't it?
What's your project?
My project. Would you like to know? So do I get first honours, seeing as I've just whacked in an 11-1 winner?
Yes, go on then.
And Keith Melrose was saying on the show last week, these ought to be price based. Him and Posty were saying, because they were, it should be SPs. But that's an 11-1 winner. I've just had, the first race. I'm going through the card.
Why did
It's 5
Melrose
points.
say
I'm going
that?
through the card.
Could have been a 20-1 winner, still 5 points.
Melrose say that because he lost.
He was
he did.
struggling at the time.
course
He
he
was
did.
struggling. It was his Ida day as well when he put up kitties. But
He don't like getting beat. He don't like getting beat, Melrose.
You know, he does not.
The
He does not.
The amazing thing about kitties was I said to Melrose on
This is
Thursday.
in last week's Ida, if you're not sure what we're on about.
Yeah, I said that to Melrose on Thursday. Well, kitties is 3-1 for the Ida. Surely he will drift, and if it gets backed, it must be nailed on. And it was nailed on. Wasn't
It's
it? It's
proper
absolutely
nailed
nailed
on.
on.
What a ride, though.
Yeah, because of the saddle. It was. I mean,
saddle
he is
was-
brilliant, Jack Tudor, isn't he?
He is. It's not just the saddle towards the end of the
I remember
race.
James
but-
Tudor. He was fantastic. Is that his uncle? I think it's his
I think
uncle.
so, yeah. But
he's
not even
unbelievable in the
not
point
just the
points he
saddle,
was.
but out of the, even sort of going out on the final circuit, he's niggling away. He's not. He's sort of going into the bottom of fences. He's not really fluent, and you'd almost sort of give up on him. And then all of a sudden, as soon as he's met that hill, he's just. yeah, it's great.
Benson is 16s for the Coral Cup with Paddies, and 16s for 33s. No one, no bet for the Martin Pipe as well, if you fancy him. So I'd be very surprised if he didn't go, if he could at least try and get into them. The problem is with these handicaps, they're so compressed now, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
They really are compressed. Have you got some handicap fancies?
Oh yeah, you asked me to think of one, didn't you?
Well, we're going to next Friday night, guys. Put this in your diary, set it on your alarms on YouTube or whatever. Watch Out's going live.
Right.
So we're 6 till 7. We've got Johnny Deneen and Paul Keeley meeting each other for the first time. It's an interactive live preview for you, and we're going to hone in on the handicaps. Everyone knows about Constitution Hill now, don't they? How much gravy have you managed to get out of the train talking about him?
I'm still getting the gravy.
Of course you are. You're doing the Sun preview, aren't you?
Some preview Monday,
All right,
yeah.
Look out for Bats, and he's all over the gaff. Which is good to see the great man back after that hip operation. Shall we move on? You're only as good as your last tip, aren't you?
Yeah.
And I've got one here. I don't know about this favourite, you know. Dargianini.
Dodge, I
He's
like
been
it.
around the houses. You do. Give us the case then before I tell you what I think might beat it.
He fell over fences, come back over hurdles, and you Toxer last time for Harry Derham and Paul O'Brien. I thought he won well, had a little bit up its sleeve, and yeah, that's just my case. Yeah, I thought he
Made a
he
good
won
fist
well.
of it so far, as our Harry, hasn't
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, he's learnt from the best, so you take a bit from that and then do it your own way, but probably add a little bit of nickels in there. But yeah, he's definitely going the right
It was
way.
an interesting move that he went up to Lambourne as well, wasn't it, around that area? Because he is, you know, the sheriff of Ditchy, as I call Paul Nicholls. He's literally, you know, the Durham family is very well, you know, part of the fabric down there, we should say. And it was a brave move from Harry. He's inheriting horses, which you need to do. You get horses that have got the back class. You try and get them right at home. You know, McAppleby was the master of that on the, you know, on the.
I suppose for Lambourne, you've got the facilities there, like. Ditchy, if you're going to train down that way, you need to have your own facilities. I mean, if you're near Paul Nicholls, do you want to keep going there every day using these gallops and all that? Then you'll get into a sort of he's going around Nicholls, he's just doing the same as Nicholls. So, but he's gone Lambourne on his own, all the facilities there, and he's making a good shot at it.
They got a big hill there.
Well, Lambourne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite
So
important.
it's now a local track then for Harry. All of a sudden, not your Exeters and your Wencanters, which has been used to. And this heads the market. This, of course, was with Nicholls. So you have to look out for these ex-Nicholls horses because he knows the ones that have got. They just need a bit of work. It's a massive operation down there, and he could probably say to the owners, "Buy that out of Paul's. I'll give it the love and tender care, and we'll get it, and we will make the best of it." He's gone up basically. What's he gone up? He's gone up £8, has he, for a romp?
£8, yeah.
£8, a 12-1 in a handicap. I'm not getting much weight off you, but my project runs in this. It's called JBY, which is Alan King. Tritonic was 5th, by the way, in that. Max McNeil told you back at each way. Hopefully you did yesterday on What a Show. It was a right old price. It was a bit of a gamble as well. He just snuck 5th. I think and most were playing 5 places in the
The
Morebattle.
cheek pieces seemed to work last time, Dave. So hopefully they'll win again.
They did. Did you see that race?
Yeah.
He's a monkey of a horse, this.
Yeah.
He's a
just
monkey.
will they...
It was over 3 miles, Batch, and about 2 out, I started going, this is the day. Finally, this is the day. Nothing travelled better through that race. He was up against a horse called Annual Invictus of Chris Gordon's, who just keeps finding from the front. And he looked, the only danger to him coming to the last, he didn't quite see it out. Now, did he not? This is the thing.
Does he not want to see it out?
This is the thing. He's on a long losing run, this chap. A bit like Colonel Mussey. Didn't work out for fences for him, but he likes the ground.
The cheek pieces back
looks
on.
ideal. They're keeping the cheek pieces on. And if Tom Cannon could smuggle it into him late, He is unquestionably handicapped to take this out.
I think I would have reached for the blinkers or the visors. I think you try something different.
I like that, a change of headgear on these
Yeah.
smart horses. You should be training, Batch. You could have Cheers, your assistant, or he would just tell you to run them up a hill and everything would be fine.
Well, funny enough, if you read Robbie's piece yesterday in the Racing Post,
Wilders?
yeah, where he made a quite good point about owners who basically had no success putting their horses in training with professional trainers and took out licenses themselves and are actually performing very well. People like Sid Hosey,
Yeah.
and Barry Connell,
of course. That's the highest profile of them. Good old Sid Hosey he has a right old story. That is.
Yeah.
What My Way is going to go for the Ballymore, isn't he? Yeah.
So I mean, that is always an option if you've got money and you're an owner. Is if you're
Do it yourself.
If you're not happy with what you're getting from your training fees, then do it yourself. You know.
I had a mate. He was a cage fighter. Loved his training, loved his fitness, and he put it with a few trainers down the south, and it was a bit of a tearaway, a bit of a runaway, and they had no success with it. And he was like, do you know what? I'm going to give this a go myself. And he used his training methods, what he did to keep fit, and done that with the horse. He went and won, and he was like, well, fair play. Not all the trainers you put it with, they couldn't win with it.
Amazing. Isn't
Nicky
it?
Martin did it, of course. She used to have horses with Philip Hobbs. She took them all pretty much under her own banner. Goes and wins a Welsh National.
Yeah.
So look, absolutely. So we see it here. But JBY for me. So we've got top two favourites in the market. What are you going for? It's Pylon then.
I'm on Pylon. Yeah, I'm with Christian Williams, who of course had a good day, a good 2 weeks, hasn't he?
The floodgates have opened. Yeah, the winner at Taunton in the week as well.
His
I've been waiting for it.
His horses are back, aren't they? They're
They
back
are.
in form. They generally like good ground, you would say, and Pylon, I think, will get that here, and as well handicapped. I think he's £5 lower than when he last won, and we know, having spoken to Christian on What a Shout last week, that he will know that.
He was a gnat's whisker away from winning a Cheltenham Festival race, wasn't he? Can you remember what beat it? It was in the Martin Pipe conditional race.
It was one of Mullins's.
No, it wasn't.
No?
Was it?
I think she's recently retired.
Don't know.
There's your clue, everyone out there. It was the unpronounceable Indefatigable.
Oh right, okay.
Weathers.
She just got him on the line. It was a horrible festival, that for Hobbsy, I seem to remember. Now taking out a joint training licence, by the way. With his assistant, isn't he?
Has he?
Yes, he has.
Who, Hobbsy?
Yeah, that is available to you on the members club. You could probably get it up on the app if you were smart enough. Right, 3 shots here, and I'm leading the way, as ever, here on a Saturday. I'm propping it up for you.
Long way
After
to go,
one
yeah.
race. And I think we need to back JBY each way here as filthy 11-2.
You want to
Filthy.
How many places can we get here?
JBY.
There might be someone sticking there or out, mightn't there?
This is typical you, isn't it? But
This
each
is
way in
typical
this.
me.
This is typical Orton.
Yes, and I'm loving it. And don't worry, Mission Control are there somewhere, I think, in the gallery today. I've been asking them to build up the socials and stuff. I will read you out. Don't worry
Has the
about
water
it. While
boy
they-
arrived
While they
yet?
drag the hills, I believe Happy Gilmore is here.
Adam Sadler is in the
The
field.
water boy is here. We could do with a bit of water. I like Pylon myself, says Tom Leach. Tom, positivity. I like it. On What a Shout, we love that. He goes, I can't be on JBY. He says, I'm not backing that horse today. We were on the last day. We all thought we had it, didn't we, Tom? 100%. Simon O'Neill says, he was on Collingham in the last. Locks Corner each way, says Toon 2020. That's an interesting horse, Locks Corner, for John Joe. A JP horse, of course. Bold Plan for Tom Siegel. If you Price-Wise followers, you'll be tuning in to watch that for Evan Williams and Isabel Williams for the Ruckers, who's not really shown his best so far. Today will be the day, says Tom. As we watch Darnini going down. Now, you've got to be happy with... So we are, 2 minutes away from this
Yeah.
searingly competitive hurdle over 2 mile 4 at Newbury. If you watch this horse, he was a bit keen when Nichols got him. He's got the cross nose band on. He's going down lovely, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very relaxed, yeah. Paul O'Brien's got his hands on his withers, and it's just nice to see. Say he used to be a free-going sort, but he looks very chilled there. The ears are pricked. Cross-nose band's probably helped him as well, but yeah, he looks very chilled, doesn't he?
Yeah, very, very
Very
chilled.
chilled.
Have we done the bet, Mission Control?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
finally piped up.
I've done it for you.
You did?
£10 each way.
Thank you very much. Going to the jockey's event. If only you'd let me done, Benson.
JBY. Well, yeah, but well.
Didn't even.
Less said about that, the better.
all
Don't want to give you too much credit for that.
Well,
one,
look,
do we?
I'm going through the card here. Interestingly, just watching them go down on a dull day at Newbury, I think, but the ground obviously fairly lively at Newbury as it has been. At least they've been able to water for this meeting, unlike they were that Sunday a couple of weekends ago. he's been kept away from the others batch, isn't he? So he's obviously a horse that they're very keen on improving, but he's got his own way of doing things.
Well, see, he just, I say, a lot of the others were going down together. He's probably just gone down a little bit later, but it's done the job, Dave. You know, we saw how switched off he was. So
it's quite sort of normal, though, is it not, to have this sort of ground in March? You know, we are
Newbury,
moving on to spring, aren't we now? So I think that's maybe why you're seeing better fields here, because a lot of these trainers would have had better ground in mind for a lot of these horses, and they're all coming out, aren't they?
It's kind of what you call in between Cheltenham and Aintree silly season time, a bit early this season, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a bit strange, hasn't it? With I mean, they're not happy with the ground at Cheltenham, are they? At the moment, they're saying that the grass is not growing as they would like.
No.
On the home straight.
No.
I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine come the day, but I think they're not really where they want to be, and it has been a very, very strange season. Lots and lots of horses who, you know, small fields and races where the ground has just ruined it.
You wouldn't know what you are getting next week in the run-up to Cheltenham. They're talking about freezing conditions. We've had this before.
Snow, they talk about?
Snow in what parts of the country. One thing I can tell you, thanks to James Byrne, our roving reporter at Newbury today, they're calling it good ground. Jamie, delighted after the first day. They've done an amazing job. Cyclop won the first there for David Dennis. Old school stone chaser. Right, we're lining up then for the second race of the day here on Racing Post Live. We're with you until 3:35 when the Shunter goes up against Lamilos and a couple of others in the Premier Chase. Fingers on the buzz for the Grand National. I really think the Shunter's a very interesting player in the Grand National, by the way. He needs to run in this to qualify today. He's a best price 40s, I think. I think you do a lot worse than take that. He's a talented, talented animal. Am I wrong? Let me know.
Well, he was second in a Grade 1, wasn't he, as a novice?
Protectorate, he was third, I think.
Third, yeah, behind Protectorate.
He hardly jumped a fence.
They're off anyway.
Well. They are indeed. It's almost like you fancy calling this, but I know you won't. Stimulating Song, who has had anything but that since he's come back off a layoff for Milton Harris. Harry Cobden rides. It's an interesting jockey book in that. He's had a wind up. He sees them all in. They tried to make him into a chaser. Hasn't worked. But it worked out well, didn't it, for Colonial Mustard in the previous race. Give us a moment, though. It is. Give a moment. This is the lucky 15, isn't it?
Bit free in front. Give me a moment.
Yeah, that's right. 15. This is the Keeley leg of the lucky 15, isn't it? The first
Richard
one's obviously
Bandy,
gone down.
Who is better known as a chaser, this chap. But he's getting on with it. I think Kills will be loving this. Get on with it. What's wrong with you? Good, very good question, but he's in second. Luca Morgan.
Is that Champagne City? He likes good ground, don't he?
Yeah, he's third,
really nice.
Champagne City.
But he's an old warrior.
Bold Plan, the price-wise horse, sees him in. A little Lots Corner, someone
Where's
like
yours?
that.
Oh, down the inner.
I'm down the inner, JB White, and I'm thinking Tom Cannon's got his tactical brain on. Bold Plan, and nearly took out Darnini. Bold Plan has come a cropper. Thankfully, very quickly to his feet. Looked like Isabel Williams was as well, but he got that all wrong. And Price-wise followers head in hands at the moment, but didn't put he cannoned into your fab patch, but it doesn't cost him too much, does it?
No, just sort of stopped him in his stride, but he's back into his stride now, so yeah.
All right.
No harm done.
All right, so this will be the last next time around, will it? Or if we just jump the last next time around, never know.
Yeah, they've just jumped the last.
It's such a long home straight, isn't it? Something's really taken a keen hold, actually. That was Poseidon for Fergus Gillard and David Pipe, as it goes a little bit black in there. Are we thinking that Edwardstone can take out the Arkle by any chance?
Well, I'm not sure. I saw Nick Luck was saying that he was he thought the race was not wide open at all, and that Edwardstone would absolutely batter them, or something along those lines.
I he's in the Queen Mother, though, isn't he?
See the argument.
He's in the Queen Mother, yeah, why?
You said, can he take out the Arkle?
Did I?
Yes.
Oh my God, he's the Arkle winner.
He's already won the Arkle.
I'm going back 12 months.
I think there's going to be a surprise in that race.
You do?
Yeah, because Energumene is definitely on the way down. Edwardstone, maybe his form's just taken a little bit of a sort of backward turn, hasn't he? And what's the other horse in there? The Editeur de Gite. I mean, he's good, but he isn't top notch in my opinion.
It's going to be run at a ferocious pace.
It's going to be run at a ferocious pace.
Yeah.
I could just see them, sneaking in maybe a Green Teen or a Nubi Negra.
Yeah.
And one of those two.
Nubi Negra, if it's dry, I
just
actually put
in
our pull out that he could still be a player for the place. He's finished second on his last drive.
And he loves Cheltenham, doesn't he? Do you remember that?
Does.
When he absolutely bolted up.
A lot of people will be thinking he can't possibly beat the Worldies, but if it's good ground, he's right up there.
He's a proper player, Nubi. Off a long break, and all of his best form is off a long break. So
if the other three get into a little bit of battle early.
We're on the far side, guys, at Newbury, and we're just digressing slightly, but we're on the far side, and Kills is also for the lucky 15. Give me a moment, is still in front. Harry Bannister's been dictating this very nicely. I was saying before the faller, by the way, that JBY, Tom Cannon's got a tactical brain on because it's a shorter trip. Don't hold them up so far when they're going down in trips. One of my pet hates that is Darjanini now creeping into it. Pylon's this gallop has been no good for Pylon whatsoever. Let's go. So now they're finally starting to step it up somewhat. And Champagne City is there as well. This would be, I'll tell you what, it must be quick there if the Brookhouse's horse is going to be there. He's an absolute good ground must, this horse. Now finally they're stepping it up, Batch.
Yep, turning into the straight. I like the way mine's travelling, Dave. He's really... Tom Cannon still, he's giving it an absolute peach in a minute.
Tom Cannon down the inside, loving that. This might be between me and you. I can't see Pylon, G, can you?
No, I can't see him. He's out the picture.
Yeah.
Well, I'm only on a small phone, so he might be there.
There's a chance this might be. I don't think he's loving the ground, Pylon. So Locks Corner now.
He's out the
Finally, we
back,
can see Pylon out the back of the telly. Darjanini then ranging up. Here we go, but it's still Keely's choice and hope. He'll be screaming this one. Give me a moment. He's on the sofa today, Kills. What's wrong with him? Now they're attacking him. Oh, look, Batch's horse is absolutely going clear. Tom Cannon's got a sighter on him. Has he got the pace to go with him?
He's niggling, Tommy.
That is the question. He's niggling away. It's a long way home yet, Batch. I'll tell you what, Paul O'Brien.
But he's not moving, look.
Come on, JBY. Come on, then.
He's coming there on
I think I'm going to get this.
What?
Over he goes. 2 out, then. JBY's the finisher in the race, isn't he? Give me a moment. It's just
I
think. What's wrong with you there at the moment? Paul. Leading them a merry dance. It's the top 2 in the handicap here, guys. What's wrong with you and Locomotive? Not out of it.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, he stepped at it. Oh, wasn't great either. JBY doesn't like it up him, does he? But each way best to be landed, I think. Come on, JBY. Can you possibly do this? What's wrong with you? Now goes past him for second.
Nothing's coming past for Genie.
Harry Durham showing what good skills and an eye for a horse he has. This could not raise a leg for the Brookhouses when they thought he was going to be a right-eyed horse of Paul Nicholls. Goes to the love and tender care, the smaller yard. First season trainer Harry Durham wins a Saturday race. Paul O'Brien very confidently ridden. Looks like What's Up With You was second for Ben Pauling, and JBY yet another place. He's rock solid each way. He's just tripless, and he probably doesn't like it up him. Well done, Batchy.
That's a good performance for 12-1. He's won well.
Yeah.
Good weight carrying performance, I thought that.
Yeah, I think he's just well ahead of his mark.
Yeah, he probably is, but it's still to do it.
He's obviously racing a bunch of exposed veterans, and he's just better than them, isn't he?
Simon O'Neill's having a pop at our New Benegra, by the way. He's having a right off pop. He's just done a laughing emoji. But he has said that just hosed up, Batch. Well done.
Yeah.
Right, okay, all right. So, look, we're 2 races down here, basically. Darjanini's he's won that pretty easily, isn't he?
Yeah, well enough,
He's dossed probably a little bit in front, isn't he? You can set your clock by What's Wrong With You and JBY. Stimulating Songs put himself back on track. Looked like he might have got 4th. The rest of them are out.
I'll go for some different headgear on JBY now, just to mix it up a little bit.
All right.
Because he goes from travelling, and just, doesn't he?
The fact he's coming back for second shows you probably what's going on in between the years, doesn't it? Because he looks like he was going to come
What was
third.
second? What was that second?
What's Wrong With You for Ben Pauling. Stimulating Song was 4th for those of you that managed to get it. But the each way money has landed.
Pylon's been beaten about 2
he hasn't won his race yet, has he? He's just it's just far too bad to be true.
That's not right.
The ground does look all right, doesn't it, at Newbury? All considered.
To be fair,
All considered. There's a bit of a dig underfoot. They put enough water on. We know that they're watering at Cheltenham as well, Cheltenham Festival. Let's switch to some Cheltenham chat, shall we, soon as well. It's all coming up here, of course, in the Racing Post studio on video here. And if you're members club, we've got it all lined up. It's going to be the slowest week of the year next week. We're not even with you next Saturday. We're going to have a little break here on Racing Post Live, but we will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of the Cheltenham Festival. And we've got a really, really good panel lined up. So let's have a look at what you might be seeing coming up. We've got a little advert for you here. There you go. So much coming your way there. Absolutely. The Members Club, bonanza. I don't know what I was going to say. I was going to say be a beneficiary of the bonanza. Too many B's there, really. We've got to go up to Kelso, though, because I'm going to go through the card at Kelso. I've had the first and third so far. I think if we look, had a little...
He keeps moving the goalposts, doesn't he?
So how many
At
points
the first
you get
winner,
for
I'm going through the card today. Now I'm going through the card at Kelso.
A reminder of what's coming up for
Change
today's
your
show.
mind.
2 races down. I've had the first and the third. Batch has had a winner as well. Tumbleweeds over there at the moment.
Long time to go yet.
There is indeed. Never go too soon. Horses lose many more races by going too soon than they do by coming too late in the day, and it's the same for tipsters as well. I've somehow found myself on the favourite here. I didn't think that Colonel Harry was going to be market leader, guys, but he is for Jamie Snowden. We've had Colonel Mustard not quite bring it home in the first. I think this one will go one better for the military boys. And I love this horse. He's a big old boy. And the form of his Newcastle success, where he was laboured, but it took him a little while to get over the line. I think he was about 6s on that day, wasn't he, up at Newcastle? Let's find out exactly what it was. But the horse he beat, the horse of the Hamiltons, Dare to Shout, it was 4s on. He beat him by 8 lengths. That hosed up on its next start here at Kelso. And this is a good horse. Some of the Shrewdies have been saying that this is even, a horse that really should be running in the Supreme. He probably is more of an Aintree horse, I would imagine. They tend to win this and then go on to the Mellings and all that sort of stuff. He's now 7-2 from a 6-1 yesterday. Tom Siegel put him up as well. I think the case is great for him. He'll love the track, he'll love the distance, he'll love the ground. Gav Sheehan on, he'll be up there. I think that we don't know what we're going to get from the Mullins horse. The market G on that one suggesting that it could be a bit lukewarm as well, isn't it?
Yeah, quite a big drifter, isn't he? Ferrer nearly. He brings in some bumper form, doesn't he?
A very interesting bumper form.
Yeah, a Dream to Share. He was third behind a Dream to Share at Leopardstown.
If I was giving you a lucky 15 at Cheltenham, that would be in there, a Dream to Share.
I do like him.
Agreed.
Yeah, I do like him, but...
he ought to be favourite because of Mullins. We're getting a tasty price about him.
I don't think Mullins really know what their best one is yet.
I've got a funny feeling. Weirdly, I'm invested in the bumper this year. It's the first time in a long time I have been properly, and I think it's slightly below the usual standards, and I think he stands out a mile.
Yeah.
So for Onley, he's never jumped a hurdle, but he has finished second to that guy. He's not always been with Emmett Mullins.
Third behind him, wasn't he? Because the second behind a Dream to Share was Factor File, who is owned by McManus, and that was what made me, when I saw McManus had bought a Dream to Share, and he already owned the second, and those two pulled miles clear of the rest, it just made me think, well, he must think Factor File is quite good if he's willing to then go and pay out to buy the horse that beat him.
He's been placed on another Mullins horse called Atlantique as well, who ran in the week and looked sure to win and then got run out of it behind a horse called Stella Story. That was at last weekend at Naas, 2-5 unbeaten, but the form I think is pretty good really. But I'll be against him here with Colonel. I wouldn't be thinking that I'd be putting him up at the 7-2 shot. Nemean Lion, who's owned by a Bet365 director, going for his own pot here. He
like
brings
that.
the top form in, doesn't he?
Yeah, and obviously beat Colonel Harry in the Tolworth last time. Third and fourth.
Yes.
Good win at Hereford.
Different ground, different track.
Different ground, different track, but do you know what? He does look a nice horse. I think he won well at Hereford. And Kerry Lee, I saw an interview, said, we're going to the Tolworth. People think we're mad, but she said, I do like this horse. I like him a lot. And she was proved right, because it did run well. It did run well.
I fancy the outside of the field here, 50-1.
Blimey.
Really?
Yeah,
you've bang-jacked us with that.
Bang-jacked.
Give us the case of Bang-Jack, because this is Colonel Mustard's trainer.
Yeah, there was a lot of money before his run last time out when he finished second to a Mullins 1-3 hot pot. Split the Mullins horse and the de Bromhead horse.
My lord.
Yeah, just thought that it was interesting that...
Which is what everyone just said when you tipped it.
I thought it was interesting they were bringing Banjaxed over here, but of course they have brought Colonel Mustard, so maybe just a travel partner. But I don't think this is a strong race. And
you'd rather have a massive shot in the dark, just small stakes and have a bit of fun.
Yeah, I mean the way I described this race in the paper today was that I really don't know what's going to win it, and at the prices I'd just rather take a punt on the big outsider after a promising run first time out. 7
of the last 10 have been last time out winners. I don't think we've had any maidens win it in my time, that's for sure. So that would be
first time for everything, Dave.
Well, there is a first time for everything. Quite right. Yeah, you're right. So a lot of people see trends and like to go against them because there's going to be that time where it goes. So Nemean Lion for Batch. Me and him are sharing this little trophy that we're playing for here today. We're having a bit of fun with that. We know you like it, and we do as well because it gets us going. And you are not
I'm
really,
on Banjacks.
you know, yeah, you are.
You are Banjacks.
You are
If Banjacks wins, then I should just win it, shouldn't I?
It was a big improvement. You're right, and he ran behind a horse called Stellar Story, who Ferronelli has form with. He's got a lot to find if you took that form literally. Accidental Rebel for some of you out there, Paddy Brennan and Fergus O'Brien. Fergal O'Brien, sorry. Holy Jolly Smoke, that's easy for me to say. He was supported, I got told in the week, by Pat Cooney and Bet365. They said they were seeing some sneaky money from him. Snake Roll for Lucinda Russell, Derek Fox.
Good name, isn't it? Snake Roll.
Yeah, they'll be watching the Premier Chase eagerly, won't they? We're off then and running in the 225 because Korak Rambler
Loads of pace on again.
will be looking for allies. Yeah, indeed, they're going quite quickly here, Batch, aren't they? What's leading then? It's Colonel Harry, he likes to get on with it. As we thought, he's up there. Snake Roll for the aforementioned Russells and Derek Fox, he's up there, he's quite keen. Looking for the other big players. Nemean Lion is being held up at the moment. Banjacks is seeing them all in. Accidental Rebel for you out there. Holy Jolly Smoke is out the back as well. Take a pause, Dave, and you can always say these things better. Sandy Thompson and Ryan Mania going for a very high-profile big race double at the track that is theirs. He's out the back as well. Very progressive horse, that chap. There's some sneaky money for him. He's won around here as well.
A bit free, the Colonel, Dave.
Is he a bit free? Is he a bit free? God, lovely way of galloping, isn't he?
Yes, I suppose that he's one of those horses that he's got quite a low head carriage, so he could probably look keener than he is.
Why do people say that anything with a low head carriage is a stayer? It's always like, it's an old school sort of like, almost old wives' tale-y sort of thing.
Rubbish.
What a load of rubbish, all right, I've been
Mr.
told.
Nevermind, he would
They used
say
to
it.
say that when he got his
Mr.
head
Nevermind
down.
on the flat.
Not really, Batch, no. I mean, come on, I haven't
too
got a
old.
search option here. Looking for Ferronelli, because we're all expecting Emmett to take one race out here today, aren't we? He's never seen a hurdle, G, but he's jumped all right in about fourth.
He's jumped out in about fourth. He's in a good position, but then Emmett's last run, I was in a good position, didn't find a lot. I don't think they're going as fast as they did in the last race, actually.
No, definitely steady it down. We've got an extra 2 furlongs to go here, but
coming
as Keith
uphill now,
Melrose says, it is a front runner's track. I mean, Benson came from like, what, 3 off the pace, but it obviously
So he
has been
hasn't
throwing
got a
up.
clue what he's talking about.
He only talks in numbers, does our Keith, so I'm sure that the stats back him up. General Officer on the inside for Donald McCain, Benson owners. They're also on a big double as well. Anything else catching the eye, Graeme Rodway?
Banjacks is going well.
They're all travelling. They're all travelling well.
No, he's right at the back, Banjacks.
It's interesting that McTeague was on the inside for Donald Myler in the previous race, and this chap he's given. I know he's never jumped hurdle in public. They're giving him a right sight. I don't know whether they thought that the inside was the place to be, but completely contrasting tactics here for Ferronelli.
Yeah, just giving him a better room, really.
What's he in Ferronelli? He can't be in anything at Cheltenham.
Don't think he is.
What's the chase track like, Dave? Is that good for front runners?
Good question.
I'll have to
I think it is with my 100% record runner.
Is that my winner? Oh, you had to
Me
get
and the
that in,
Harold.
didn't you? King Harold won around there, did he?
Yeah.
In the favour of Pottinger colours?
Yes.
Oh, they were right. The
Used to
Smokers
like
they
him.
were, weren't they?
Yeah.
All right, great stuff then. We're on the far side, and at the moment, Colonel Harry, I think we can say safely, the gamble of the race. What's the Colonel in? I think it will be Aintree for him, you'd imagine, the 2 mile 4 race when you're the 2
Would have
mile
thought
race.
so.
Yeah, he is in the Supreme. I think Jamie
He won't
Cobb's
run in
talking
that,
about
will he,
the
if
other
he's
night,
running here
apparently.
today? Surely not. He'd go to Aintree, wouldn't he?
You'd think so. Lookaway, who of course won the Aintree bumper, hasn't quite clicked for him so far over hurdles. He's got a lovely position. You imagine that Lookaway is running here because if he doesn't win, he preserves the novice status, doesn't he? I mean, he's a 6-year-old, but
Probably,
they're having a good go at him. On the bumper form, he's not out of place. I'll tell you what, one that's just falling out, you could put another 0 on the wounded knee. Patrick Neville, of course, big couple of weeks
Patrick
coming up, the
Neville.
real whackers trainer. Banjacks is still there.
Still there,
believe it or
Dave,
not.
he's still
Now
there.
they're hotting it up, Batch, aren't they?
Yeah, just turning on.
Great jump by Colonel Harry, that. Banjacks is catching the eye.
4 out that was it?
That was 4 outs.
Yeah.
It
Long
was,
way
I
to go
think it
yet.
was. Karachi Castle. Ryan Mania trying to do what he did in the Morebattle. He's got loads of horse underneath him, but unfortunately he's got a wall in front of him. Holy Jolly Smoke is starting to warm up. We're going to see changing fortunes potentially here as we get ready for the Rumble in the Premier Kelso Novice Hurdle. It's grade 2 coming. It's a 2 out, guys. Oh, it's brilliant jump
Come
from
on,
Colonel
Neon.
Harry. What I like about, look at the Nemean line. All of a sudden the flat horse is coming.
Neon.
What I love about Colonel Harry, you ask him and he fires.
Come on, the Lion.
He's gone 2 lengths clear. His old rival Nemean Line is hunting him down. Ferronelli, the classy bumper horse.
Come on, the
He's
Lion.
absolutely at it today. It looks all of a sudden, doesn't it? This is Richard Patrick on this.
The
He
Lion
thinks he's
is
on Frankel.
ready to roar,
Now all of a
Dave.
sudden the hill's there and it's
Come on.
Tolworth form. This is
Come
Tolworth's
on.
form. I think he's going to get me here. This is
Oh!
we both walked through it.
Come
I
on!
tell you that Ferronelli's going to be third.
Yes, we're done. It's
Oh
done.
no, come on,
It's done.
Colonel.
It's
Come
done.
on, the Colonel. I'm gonna
Done
be
and
second here.
dusted.
Batchy's got it. The
Batchy
lion
again.
roars
The
then.
lion roar.
And it is Tolworth form, very interestingly, seen to great effect. Banjax ran really well, G's. Finished about 5th, I think, didn't he? Snake Roll just got, I think, the 3rd from Ferronelli, who's run a nice race, looking like he wanted a bit further. That will work out to be a pretty decent race, I reckon.
Yeah.
He
First
won
two.
well, the winner, didn't he?
He did. He was travelling 2 out. We both missed the last, to be fair, Dave.
Yeah.
But
Have you noticed that Paul Nicholls is a little bit more bullish this year about his Cheltenham hopes
Yes.
than in previous years?
Yes.
And he, of course, had Timoras, didn't he, that beat that? He'd run.
yeah,
So Morris, I think he's in both the Ballymore and the.
he's going for Supreme, I think.
Supreme.
He's
Isn't
going,
he?
he'd go for the Supreme.
Supreme, he is, yeah.
100%. Yeah, he'd go for the Supreme.
I got the impression Paul wanted to step him up. When
Well-
the interview at Sandown, when they was just talking after the race, and Dave Cross, being Dave Cross, said he's going to the Supreme.
Who's the syndicate manager for North
Yeah,
Ely, right?
I just thought Paul. I just think I don't know. I might have read it wrong, the signals, but I just thought because it was the Ballymore. I thought he might wanted to step him up.
Well, our very own Dave Lowe was lucky enough to go down to Ditchy with Charlie Sharp from the social team. We have got a stable tour out there. You can go and check out what Paul said on our YouTube channel. I have to tell you, he ticks a lot of historical boxes, unlike some of the other market leaders in the Supreme. And it's just a form thing for me. I wonder, G, whether we've lowly rated that Tolworth. We've rated it almost like it is what's the horse of Harry Fry's that never went on?
Yeah.
Meteor.
Very good. Yeah. You have been doing some previews, haven't you? You're sharpening your tops.
My feeling, I always tend to try and go on what I feel at the time. And when I watched the race, I didn't think it was a very good race. But yeah, maybe time's going to tell that I was wrong.
What if I've got? They have put his. I think that we might have adjusted that RPR since I last saw. It's a 144 to Muras, isn't it? Which again, it puts him in the picture. I think he's rated 138. He could have gone into handicap company, couldn't he? With a rating like that. A lot of novices have been quite lowly rated, unlike the historical. You already see someone usually around about 150 going into the Supreme. Look, it's interesting. Tamuras, I think, could be a Nolan type. It was interesting if you watch back our stable tour with him. He does say basically this: we weren't expecting this. He was beaten in bumpers. He's just one of those horses that keeps surprising you, a bit like a Nolan was. You remember Nolan was $1 million turning in, wasn't he? One of the best Racing Post replays you'll find out there in your members club.
Was that one of the strong ones? That wasn't it? Strong Supreme. I think it was. Because there's been like these.
You're thinking of his other winner in those colours. The great Alpha Off.
Alpha Off, yeah.
That was the strongest Supreme in memory.
Yeah, was that the one that Spirit Sun was second and Sprinter was third?
Yeah, Q Carb was in it.
Q Carb was.
That was the Supreme for the ages.
Wasn't a bad race, was it?
I don't know. Let's have a quick talk about this. We've got 2:45 is our next. It's the G-Rod Nap coming up, and it's also the Greatwood, the feature at Newbury today. But let's just give ourselves a little chat about this because I think Nicholls is going to have 2 winners at the Cheltenham Festival. A lot of people would just be expecting, because of the COVID years, his horses to turn up and not fire. It was a disaster last year as well, wasn't it, with the ground and all that sort of thing. But even if there's a little bit of rain now, we know kind of what we're going to get. I think Brave Man's Game will run a mighty race in the Gold Cup. They've just changed it. He looks like Mantua Boy to me.
What's his
season.
2 winners?
I think Hermes Allen will win. I think Tamuras is going to go close in the Supreme. I'm going to tease you tomorrow around about 6 p.m. on our YouTube channel. We are doing an Ultimate Guide preview for you. That's right, myself. I've got to look after Tom Siegel. It's his annual trip into the studio. He'll be in here, G. Yeah. With David Jennings and Paul Keeley as well.
Be a treat for everyone.
I will be asked what I think is going to win the Supreme, and I've got a horrible feeling I'm going to go for Tamuras. The reason why I'm saying this is because he's not Irish, and it's not any one of the big guns. It is a British Tolworth winner. And I think the better the race, the more he will travel. He was very green when he won the Tolworth still.
Could be right. Yeah, I'm looking at the race now. Look at the way that Turn the Million Lion's done that.
The Million Lion there is hacked up, isn't he? If he goes to Aintree with a bit of cut in the ground, the way he travelled through that.
He looked the winner.
Andre Farb on the track, wasn't
he? Yeah.
On the flat in France.
Can't have face.
He looked the winner 2 out there. He was still travelling.
You had me cold. Colonel Harry's won a mighty race. He's almost sort of just outspeeded him, isn't he?
Yeah.
Colonel Harry, I think, is a lovely horse going forward. Look, we're sort of getting excited now about this Tolworth form, which is great.
I'm a Marine Nationale fan.
Are you?
he just ticks all the boxes for a supreme horse. He's got speed. He looks very chilled out, relaxed. He stays, and he jumps. He looks the real deal. I mean,
if you think that stats are schmats, and this is an ex-jockey we're talking to here, so they tend to do that. The gap is something that I think the gap stat, he hasn't run, has he, since the Royal Bond? That's rarely ever done. They rarely defy an absence like that in that race. It's obviously the plan to go there.
Yeah, fresh.
He didn't jump the last very well, though, and he beat a horse called Irish Point who hasn't gone on with it. But he's obviously a bit special, G, isn't he, Marine National?
I think he's got loads of ability. The question is, does he jump well enough?
That's my
He does.
my worry for him.
He does jump.
He does.
You've got to. If you look at the races, there's mistakes, and there's novice mistakes, and the mistakes, well, not mistakes. The novice jumps that he's made, he will only learn from them. So I think he jumps. I think he jumps well. I think he jumps good enough to win. And so I was watching an interview last night, Barry Connell, and he's
He's got
bullish
good land, of course.
He's bullish about his jumping.
For the Bunnymore, is he?
He's very bullish, and he said he's not.
I thought he got your man out of trouble a little bit in the last race, so he probably very good horses do that.
I think he's very good.
He's not worried about the ground because he's by a Shamadel, so
I
should
think
go on the ground.
someone said that Barry Connell thinks that he could win a Group 1 on the flat.
Yeah.
Does he?
He's that good.
Yeah.
So
he used to buy a lot of horses from the Aga Khan.
But does he
It's
jump
great to see Barry
well
Connell
enough?
with his type of horses.
He jumps well enough, G-Rod, trust me.
he jumps well enough, he'll win them.
Do we
But
do we think he goes off Fav in the Supreme? Or do you think the weight of support will come back for Fassar?
I think they'll come back for Facile.
yeah.
He go off favourite on the day. Listen, if you put that run behind you in Ireland,
Yeah.
Facile Vega is, to me, is a good thing. But you hear, he's come out lame, he's this, he's that. But he's had an hard race.
Yeah.
But I'm not being funny. If there's enough time from then till Cheltenham, because you're not guaranteed. He's gone to the Dublin Festival. He's going to go around on the bridle and win.
He'd surely take a lead this time, will he, as well?
He will take a
Surely.
lead. He will take a lead, but you're not guaranteed to go to the Dublin Festival
Yeah.
and have it all your own way. So he's prepared to have a race at that time of year. So
Yeah.
you've got enough time.
Okay, all right. Talking of time, we better have a switch then. That's the Supreme Novice Hurdle. The more I look at it, the more I will be, having seen that form, Frank's having a little bit on Tamuras, I think. And I just wanted to see the form. There's a trophy update. Look where we go. Oh, Batch's neck. Oh, there is a long time to go, G-Rod.
Nil points.
Nil points for the bear. But he's running out of rope out there, isn't he? Well, look, this is your moment. Because this is
nap time,
it's
yeah.
lucky 15 time, the injured jockey's on. But we would like to see you back. This is going to be the charity bet here is yours. Paul Keeley likes it. You like it. Make the case for the big bite.
Yeah, I think the Big Bite's got a huge chance. He's £11 lower than when he finished third in the race 2 years ago, and he basically threw the race away. I mean, he looked set to win it, and then he did that thing where they have that weird sort of elbow, don't they? At Newbury, you know it, Batch. Where you have to go off, don't you?
Yeah.
Don't go and jump the water jump. You have to go off to the finish line, and
Yeah.
he sort of got a bit mixed up.
I remember that.
Yeah, they're sticking the cheek pieces on him, and he's obviously a bit of a thinker, isn't he? And they've given him a break, and all of his best form is after a break. And
It's the Doncaster form
really
you're
well
looking at as well,
handicapped.
isn't it? In January this time last year.
he runs these sort of courses well. I mean, Donny,
he runs
Newbury.
Fernamble Civil, the Game Spirit winner,
Yeah.
very close, didn't he?
He runs. Yeah.
It's just whether he loves Doncaster. He's always done well at Donny, hasn't he? He
Yeah,
won
but
there,
he's
he's placed
pretty
there.
similar, isn't it?
Pretty
Donny
similar.
and Newbury.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah.
Pretty similar.
yeah.
I mean, long straight, big galloping
Yeah.
tracks.
Can we put the bet on then? Via the
Yeah.
Racing Post app, this is the charity bet in the feature race at Newbury today. It is the Greatwood Gold Cup, which offers you a decent prize. Let's see what it is to the winner. It's 34 grand for non-Cheltenham horses, I think we can say. And the big bite is on. How much did you
I've
put
gone
on?
for a tenner each way.
Tenner each way. You think it's an each way race?
I think it's an each way race. Yeah, 3 places, isn't it? So I think a great chance of being in the top 3.
Yeah. All right. There you
Even
go.
though there's only 7 in it.
That's how you put the bet on if you want to do it in the app. And what was the price?
12 to 1.
12 to 1. the outside of the lot. Can we see what the pro versus punter is today? How are we getting on?
Well,
look, I'm not baiting you. This is Mission Controller asking me to do this. If you don't know what we're talking about each week, and fair play for being a good sport about it, Robbie Wilders took over, and did he get you a bit back in? Because you take on a member of the public, don't you?
Yeah, no, Robbie won one and lost one, but yeah, I'm going through a bit of a quiet spell in the punter versus pro, but every time I rock up, the punters seem to be on a hot spell, and so far, fair play to this week's punter. To be fair, he's gone for a lot of similar horses to me. But this week's punter is Pete Goff. He's a retired postman.
Yeah, now, how does that make you feel? Because you always look for the look for the vocation.
Yeah, a retired postman.
So he's got a lot of time to study.
Yeah, and he's an owner with the owners group as well.
And how's he doing so far?
And
you can see the app. Look, if you want to check this out.
So far, he has had 2 winners out of 3. Darjanini and Nemean Lions.
Oh, so all of a sudden you're a million to win again.
Well, I am.
Hold on a minute. I'm sure he's my postman. He's got the same choices, hasn't he? How are you, Pete?
don't the innuendos I was about to come up with then.
I am in a bit of trouble because Pete's actually got the same 2 horses as me in the last 2 races, Nell's Son and Cooper's Cross.
What's he got in this?
We all fancy them as well.
If the big bite
Pete, you've had a blinder, mate. Well
if the big bite does not win, then Pete will win.
Has he got Paint the Dream?
Blimey.
And even if the big bite does win, that might not be enough.
Let's find out what the rest of the panel are on then in this great feature race coming up. Did you just tease us? Because we've got Xander, who we've been calling Mr. Newbury, who won the Denman Chase. Turns out just 21 days later. But he just anything at Newbury. Honestly, like someone hilariously said on Watch Out comments, the lock-ins even for Xander, he loves it that much. But so does Paint the Dream.
Yeah, this a bit of a puzzle race, this. I mean, we could have 3 different selections and still not get it right. Xander was talking earlier, me and G-Rod, he is Mr. Newbury, but he does run better with a longer break, G-Rod, doesn't he? Paint the Dream, last year's winner. I'm going with Lord Batchelor. He won at Plumpton last time out, the time before behind Coastal Henderson's, finished second to Jerry Colon at Sandown. I think
sizzling form.
Good form, and just Chris Gordon. I know we keep harping on about it, but he's also absolutely flying. Good day at Newbury the other week.
Yeah,
few winners
just all over the place.
He had a winner at Plumpton the other day and Fontwell.
Market racing, you name it, he's having them.
So I'm going with Lord Batchelor.
Okay, he's the worry for my selection in this. Tom Siegel's also gone for the price wise and his followers out there. But Lord Batchelor, he said he looked a completely different horse when he was bowling along. I am a bit surprised he's gone into a 3-1 shot, but that's only because the others have drifted. Paint the Dream's been uneasy. Zanz's been very uneasy. We'll get to the others in a minute. There's another steamer in the race. But Gemerond is an old favourite of mine. I napped him on Watch Out successfully when he won at Weatherby. He ran such a good race at Sandown on ground he hates when he was second to Certainly Red, who's a very, very progressive horse. Leader Rich horse. Great story of the West Country season he's been. Horse that couldn't jump fences. But that form's worked out really, really well. He jumped like I don't want to say a stag or a buck or whatever. He jumped beautifully at Weatherby. Do you remember we were watching it, G?
Yeah.
I was insufferably cheering him on.
That.
He beat a horse called Warlord, who was going to reoppose. Warlord is sitting on his next win. The ground's been deemed not quite right for him. I think Gemerond can step up here for Venetia Williams and Charlie Deutsch. My worry is that they go a bit too hard too soon, me and you, and we tee it up for the
Tee it up for the rod.
That'd be nice.
Well, it'd be nice to see him get some points, Dave, wouldn't it?
Here we go. Andy Sim agrees. Andy, great to have you with us, man, opening up Social Corner this afternoon. I need Gemerond for a double in my treble.
Double win his
I'll give it some welly for you, Andy. Great to have you out there. Who else is out there anymore? Tom Leach, who's been with us pretty much all season. Tom, and it's been good fun. I'm on 5-1, Lord's Batchelor next, and a small each way on the big bite.
The big bite.
He's all coming in for the biter.
I've got 20s on him, so you've done better than me, Tom. But I should probably also declare another interest in the race, because I've had 2 bets in the race, because when I saw the entries on Monday, I actually backed Sebastopol at 7-1 on Monday.
Your mate Devo's in the chat, and he's talking about that as well.
Now, this horse beat Stage Star.
But was that the real Stage Star?
He beat Stage Star.
I don't think he was. So. He's a right player wherever he goes, Stage Star at Cheltenham.
He beat Stage Star at Newbury.
He could be another Nichols winner, you know.
Could be. But Sebastopol beat him. It's there, so it's on the app. Do you want me to show you?
Yeah, please show me the form if you don't mind.
show
You
you
can, of
the
course,
form,
do
right.
this by going out there down at the start, but let's have a look at the form. Let's get the app up, Mission Control. If
We can
G-Rod
look.
is going to show us the form of this
The
horse.
form of this horse.
There we go.
Sorry, that's the non-runner.
If you queued it up.
You queued it up, and then I've hit the non-runner. He didn't run in that race at Cheltenham, but if you go there, you actually beat Stage Star 5
What was third?
lengths at
Let me have a
Newbury.
look. What was third? Because I always look at the third in these. Oh, yeah, I wonder, we haven't seen much.
Cambrand.
Oh, Cambrand, a filthy. Nearly favourite for the Gold Cup, isn't he?
So-
What a sort of gunpowder treason plot that would be if he goes and wins that.
Can't remember that. It's course and distance form, and he's got a very good record after a break, Sebastopol. And one thing that did hit me on Monday when I looked at the entries was I made quite a strong case for Luttrell Laird, but Stan Shepherd, the stable jockey,
Yeah.
had already been booked to go and ride Sebastopol. So it obviously hadn't even crossed Stan Shepherd's mind to go and ride Luttrell Laird. He was just going to ride Sebastopol, whatever. So, and he likes good ground. He goes well fresh. He likes the track. I think Sebastopol run well. I'm going to be very disappointed if I don't collect here, Dave, having backed Sebastopol and the big bite. But it's not been a great day so far.
Did you say was favourite for the Gold Cup?
Cambrand will, we think,
Is that the
nearly
one
go
that
off Fav.
smuggled into that race?
Well, basically, he was favourite for the race last year. It tipped down and he lost his chance. He went over
No, the
fences.
Newbury race.
Uh,
He sneaked into it. We watched it, didn't we?
what, Cambrand?
Yeah,
No,
I'm sure we
no,
did.
no,
No?
I don't think so. Espada Key is the other horse we've not mentioned here, guys, and we ought to because Nichols Farms this race. He's nicked this off Venetia. I say nicked it, he's obviously been transferred. He sees them all in. Got a good record fresh. Will he like the ground? That's the question. Plenty of water we're expecting from this time on the chase track, but it's the first one that we've seen so far. And Gemeron leaves them over first. Espada Key sees them in. He's not badly handicapped, basically, and he's gone. It's very rare that we see horses going from Venetia Williams to Paul Nichols, isn't it? Certainly in recent years.
Definitely.
Weird transfer that, but it's the same owners, so they've obviously got a ticket down to ditch sheet. Mr. Newbury, Zanza then, is the penultimate back marker. And this is what I wanted to see if I'm on Gemerond. Charlie Deutsch has already got two lengths on Lord Baddesley, who's up in class but won really well last time out. How does he jump this? This will be 4 out next time around.
Oh,
Beautiful jump.
lovely.
Big bite there. He's such a good fencer, Gemerond. He's a lovely, lovely animal. And he has got his way to the front, which is what I wanted to see, which means he's gone low on the exchange because they never know with these run styles when you get taken on, it's a panic. The big bite is a bit more handy than I would expect, and he's got a funny old head carriage, like yourself, G-Rod.
He's a funny old horse, the big bite, yeah, but hopefully the pieces will help him. Oh, Sebastopol walked through that one. Absolutely walked through that, but he survived.
He's a thinker,
Come up
isn't
too
he?
early, G-Rod, he did.
We didn't say that about Sebastopol. Took him ages to win, but on his day, when he's got the rounds as Devo, he's capable of doing this. Last year's winner then, Paint the Dream. Very, very classy performance he put up when he went here early in the season. Again, showing his liking of this. I'm just trying to see slam Tamarack to Mathan. Do you remember in this race last year? Another second place for me. He is now 18 pounds higher. But again, he's a
18.
bit like Zanza. He just comes alive at Newbury.
Yeah.
All right, we've got a circuit to go, Batch. What do you think?
I tell you what, Dave, you're right about the Venetia horse, doesn't he? Jump.
Beautiful,
Just
beautiful
makes
animal.
a lovely shape. They're all going well with himself. They're travelling well.
He reminds me of some of the horses that she gets on a handicap roll. They are spring-heeled. And Fernando Sivler, in his early years, he was such a neat jumper of a
But
fence.
he looks he looks a big type, and he looks so nimble as well.
Yeah,
He
that's
just-
what he is.
Yeah.
And he's obviously going a bit of a pace, G-Rod. Do you think he's going too hard?
No, I don't think he is. No, I think he's getting a nice lead. Paint the Dream coming up there now.
Yeah.
Lord Baddesley still bang
Lord
there.
Baddesley is just fav on the
Zanza's
exchange.
bang off the
He's
bridle,
gone, yeah.
Oh, Zanza's just not loving life, which is unsurprising.
but he does always storm
to
mode.
some, because he's stanking the market.
But he does storm mode at Newbury usually. He's jumped that awfully.
I've said it before about Zanza. He's come and picked him up, but this look. You did say that the break's not ideal for him. He usually comes off a longer layoff.
Yeah,
doesn't
he
he?
usually comes off a longer layoff.
They must have thought he was just so well at home, basically, the Hobbs team. But Gemeron, once again, a beautiful lead. I defy you to show me a handicap on Saturday over fences where anything's jumped as better as
What's
him
the
so
big
far.
bite looking at? He's looking at
Yeah.
King's
Oh, he's looking all over the place, isn't he?
He's
Yeah.
looking at King's Clear, and he balled him.
It's having oh, Sebastopol's gone.
Oh, Sebastopol looked at me. I tell you what, the moment I said the commentator's curse about Gemeron, he stepped at one. He
got up,
definitely
he got
put
up.
off Sebastopol there, who has gone. But they're up very quickly, him and Tom Cannon, thankfully. Paint the Dream is now warming up, guys. The big bite
Go on, the
is
big
on
bite.
the premises. I don't think Lord Baddesley has not been able to take a lead, is he? And Espada Key and Zanza not totally out of it, Bax. We're coming up towards the cross fence, aren't we?
No, they've got to go around
they've
the bend.
got to go around the bend, then
Which
the
is then the cross
Yeah,
fence.
then the cross fence.
You should know
but
you
we're
won
not,
the
yeah,
Hennessy.
but we're not coming up to it, are we?
It's the next fence.
We're not. Yeah, we're not. Bit way to go. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, can we go back and make sure Batch was actually riding in the Hennessy and things like that? I mean, does anyone actually remember?
I'm sure he knows his way round.
Was anyone there? Here we go.
When we're saying we're coming up to it, I think
One of my favourite
imminent.
fences in jump racing, and the big bike
Cross
racing
fence.
down to my Hope Gemeron. And
Go on there,
Gemeron
big
was beautiful
bite.
there. I'll tell you what, he's on great terms with himself, and Jonathan Burke.
Enjoying it.
And very good tactical move this from Jonathan Burke, I think, because Gemeron has had it easy, isn't he?
Sparta Gee's going well.
Sparta Gee is creeping
Yeah.
into it. Could this be Nichols again? And Peyton the Dream still on the bridle. Lord Battersley needs to find something. Zanz has just been training. All right, 4 out here, guys.
Go on a big bite.
Hold your breath for your tickets. I'll tell you what, Sparta Gee keeps catching the eye. This is skills.
Paint the
Now,
Dream's still going well.
the big bites. Does he not want to
Go
hit the
on,
front?
the big
He
bites.
takes over from Gemeron there, which is not what I wanted to see. Paint the
Come
Dream on the
on.
inside. Sparta Gee now filling his lungs.
Go on, the big
Gemeron
bites.
not totally out of
Go on, the
it.
big
This would be remarkable. Over we go. And
Oh.
Gemeron coming back a little bit. He's gone to the
If he
front. Plenty
fancies
seen
it.
on this horse.
He's a funny thinker.
He is
Look
a
at him.
proper thinker.
He's
Johnny
a proper
Burke,
thinker.
Henry Oliver. This would be, I think he's had a winner up at Doncaster earlier. Okay. Oh, all of a sudden Gemeron's coming back to spoil the G-Rod party. But
Go
the
on,
big
big
bite,
Go
this
again.
is
Go
ridiculous.
again.
Paint the Dream last year's winner, finding the extra burden a
Come
bit much,
on.
but not out of it. As Sparta Gee has fallen in a hole. Coming to the last end. This is the
Whoa.
injured jockey's final horse. Come on, Gemeron, they're going to spoil the party.
Oh, no.
Gemeron is coming back. The big bite, though, has he
the
got
bite.
back?
Goes back, it's big bite, big bite, big
Big
bite.
It's going to be the lucky 15.
on,
He
the
does
big
it.
bite.
Oh, the G-Rod gets him.
Gemeron.
Oh, I've gone down by a head on Gemeron. Oh, it was an absolute stormer. But the nap goes in for the bear. Nil pois, we were saying.
Woohoo.
But the nap goes in. And that will be a little bit of pie and mash to collect for you on the way back, knowing you. Look
Quite
at the
nice,
smugness
quite
of him.
I've never seen him smile like that.
No, absolutely. Smuggy bear over there. All right, brilliant. What a race that was. You can tell we enjoyed it. That's profit for the Injured Jockeys Fund as well.
Brilliant.
Oh, man. Gemeron's on a sledger, isn't he? Because he had every right to fold there. They've come well clear. What a weird, sordid head carriage this man has. This horse is a weirdo, isn't he?
I actually think he'd done me a real favour there, Gemeron, because he's so game and he's tried so
He's
hard.
kept him up to it.
And he
Yeah.
just kept him up to it. I'm not sure, like, if Johnny Burke had gone clear, I'm not sure he would have kept going. I think he might have stopped.
Tell me,
Gemeron was
Batch.
coming back at the end.
Yeah,
there.
he was.
He was closer than you think.
He's won by a head, this horse. He's obviously got quite a lot in hand because the moment he's straightened him up, he wants to go to Slough, doesn't he?
Yeah.
We're in Berkshire, we're in Newbury. This guy wants to hang away all across the track. But Johnny's just waited and waited, despite the fact he's gone to the front. But going to the front when he did meant it disappointed Gemeron slightly, didn't it? Very good tactics.
Yeah, very good tactics, yeah. Great rider, Johnny. I think he's off to Ortill tomorrow for Tom George. He's got a big ride over there.
Your pronunciations of French horses
Ortoy-
has been
Ortill.
stellar all
Ortill.
season. Oh, you went Ortoy?
Ortoy?
How's he now? Yeah, because they've got that crack horse,
Yeah.
the novice over there, haven't they? Johnny Burke having the season of his life, of course. And that was a very good one. Who weighed in with the bear? What price did we get?
I had 20s on that.
No, yeah, but what did we get today? I know it was really well. And well done, Tom Leach. who had
Tom Leach had
33s.
33s. What price did we get? 12s, I think.
12 to 1 SP.
Brilliant.
There you go, lovely jubbly. What is that? Oh, look at that. Means he's creeping up. He was on nil pois.
I told you
No
there was a
more.
long way to go.
A little bit back for the Injured Jockey Fund. You've just paid
The
for
big
the...
bite takes
G-Rod,
out the
G-Rod
great.
has just paid for the anaesthetist.
He's just paid for the beers afterwards. That's for sure. You've just. If you're wondering what we're on about, this is your hip operation. You probably took a bit out of the coffers there for that, didn't you? I imagine they're not cheap, these things. And I saw the pictures of you, very swanky little hotel.
Yeah, nice
hospital
little room,
that
wasn't it?
Absolutely was. All right, where are we going next? I'm losing the plot here. Where are we going? We've got a little bit of a break coming up. We've got Kelso, of course, at 3 o'clock, haven't we? Is that right? Is that the next?
Yeah.
Kelso, what did I put up in that? Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. All right, we've got a very progressive horse heading the market here. But no, listen, that was fun. Let's hope you enjoyed that with us here. We'll try and get as much Cheltenham chat in as we can. That's my Cheltenham sorted, says Leachy. Tom, you know it one. Stop acting the goat, says Paul, because he's going for glory on the chat line. They do like to get stuck into each other.
They do?
They do. They always applaud each other when they get a winner, but they do like a bit of serious banter there. All right, that was great fun. You're watching Racing Post Live. Myself, Dave Orton, joined by Mattie Batchelor. Graeme Rodway, who's going to be insufferable for the rest of the afternoon because the big bite, the outsider of the lot, he told you it would win. It did. That was great, wasn't it? And I'm hearing that Jamie Philby,
Jamie Philby.
Bonbon they call him,
John
John Bon. He loves it, and we're going to see a nice clip of that. So well done. It was put up on the app as well, and all that sort of thing. So it's all for the injured jockeys' fun. This and that, you know, we have fun. And on a serious side, if Racing Post Live has done anything over the last couple of years, it's put a lot of coffers in the charity. So we love it for that reason, really. And is that bidding farewell to Newbury now? Yes, it is, isn't
Yes.
it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Will that be the last race that we do jumps-wise on this season at Newbury? It's April when that great flat meeting starts. I say great because you often see classic winners.
I think that could be, yeah.
Group 1's in Maidan today and all that sort of stuff, isn't it? It's getting back, isn't it? Lincoln's not too far off, but sacrilege, everyone will be saying. All right, but Black Poppy for Kerry Lee in the next at Newbury is strongly fancied to give them a big double there. Brendan Powell takes a ride. That is at 3:25. We must go up, though, to 3 o'clock, Kelso. I must admit, this is one of the races that I found tougher. Perhaps you'd like to lead now?
Yeah, the 3 o'clock at Kelso. I've got so excited then that I forgot where we are.
You actually backed a winner?
Yeah, well, I've been waiting for one, but I just got to say, I'm very unlucky for Pete Goff, of course, the punter.
Oh!
I mean, he's had 2 winners out of 4, and he's lost. You know, so sorry, Pete.
Is that actually we're going to chalk that up as a pro win?
It's going to be a pro win now. Finally.
Pete Goff, my goodness me, let's get that clipped up. There we go. Devo Stairs. I still haven't received my punter versus pro invite.
It's coming. It's coming.
It is a popular thing, Devo. Honestly, we get quite a lot of people wanting to take him on. Funnily enough, how can they do that?
I think you have to email in and
where's the handle?
I don't know what the handle is.
Just send it to the editor. He'll love it.
Yeah, send it to editor.
Tom will love a bit of that.
If you want to beat me, but a few people have beaten me, but not today.
Do you know? Just quickly, I got summoned in by the editor.
Did you?
Last Friday, just after filming What a Show.
Give you your P45.
Dave, can you come in? Not yet. I'm surviving it so far, like Houdini. I'm surviving it. But he handed me an envelope. I thought I had to check for anthrax at first. It's from Dimp, and I must, if you're out there, Dimp, I haven't seen your name in the chat for a little while. A nice Christmas card.
Oh,
saying
lovely.
Thanks for the entertainment and the laughs, and we appreciate it's all free and all that sort of thing. Merry Christmas.
Oh, that's
lovely,
nice,
wasn't it?
Very good.
Yeah,
And it went straight to the editor, which was marvellous. So send anything in to Tom. He gets it all. And I think there was an email about that. So look, yeah, we'd love to hear from you out there. And Chris Timms, one of our regulars, talking of them, out there, Santos Blue, nap today. Tom Leach following up, trying to, on Nell's Son, which I think is where we're aiming, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm on Nell's Son, he goes well fresh again. He's had wind surgery since his last run.
Year?
And he won that race that Nemean Lion just won.
Bosh.
At Kelso, so he's got the course form. Are you on him as well?
I am. If I was having a bet here, and I must admit I haven't put any hard-earned on it, but this is my tip for this bad boy.
So you're just trying to stop me from catching you, aren't you?
No, it's down. It's
You're
down.
like
The tips are
Pete
done this morning, I believe. So, but
Okay.
I can see it. I don't think this has been the plot, has it? Because they probably aimed a bit. They can't have seen themselves coming for this after he won the Grade 2. It was a surprise when he won the Grade 2. He was one of the outsiders in that last season. But he obviously loves Kelso. Danny McMenamin is a hot jockey at the moment. Do you know much about Danny?
No, talking about him I think a season ago, I'd watched him ride and I thought he was
Tidy.
He's very tidy. He reminds me of a bit like Brian Hughes. When I watch Racing Up North, I always think it's Brian Hughes, and I think that's a huge compliment. But he rides very similar,
It's
very
a
stylish.
huge compliment. Well, Brian
Very
Ellison
stylish.
has given him tutelage, hasn't he? Of course, he won the Greatwood with him on the Nietch, as we keep mentioning. He is then doing the running for us. Batch, have you got anything in this?
Yes, I have gone with the front-running Rafferty's Return.
There's been money for this all day. John Wade's horse.
Jumps out front. Probably just met one last time out at Wetherby. Finished second. Won the time before that at Wetherby. Love Shawnee Quinlan. Rebecca Menzies, I think she's...
A lot of love for Sean, isn't there?
he's-
He's having the season of his life.
He's just a great lad, you know. Since he's gone up north, he could always ride. Things didn't go right for him down south. He's gone up north, and he's one of the in the top 10 riders up there. Him and, you watch racing day in day out up north, and to me, it's you'll never see Brian Hughes, Henry Brook, and Sean Quinlan. They very rarely go home without a winner.
And okay, fair enough. And you're hoping then that this is a front runner's Keith Melrose stat coming good.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, Keith
Harry
Keith Melrose hasn't got a Scooby what he's talking about, but I hope. Only joking. I hope he's right about this. But Rafferty's return.
All right, so Santos Blue is obviously coming in on the hat-trick for the Skeletons, who've taken out a race already and had a place runner. They've got Lamilos to come in around about 35 minutes' time, up against the Shunter, who's just about my nap of the day. What about Dancing with the Wind? Or Dance with the Wind?
Yeah, I tipped that last time out when it won. It was a Friday afternoon. And
what an after timer that was.
Yeah, it went a 6-4 favourite, and I got 3-1. So I might as well put that in there as well, and won well. But
Monty Terrier says the whole thing stinks. I think they're talking about Zanza actually, but it could have been about you saying just giving yourself the big
bite.
You have one big winner, don't you?
I can't.
Look at you.
So I can't help it, I just when I have a lot of losers, and when I win, I like to enjoy it, and I like to.
They can't shut him up all of a sudden. I was prodding him cattle prod to get some lines out of him.
He was yawning earlier.
He was.
Well, did you see the way that Pylon ran? I thought it was going to be an awful day anyway. But you've got to enjoy it when you win, haven't you? And and I do like giving it back to some of those tweeterers.
Well,
the
yes, quite right, the tweeteroonies. Well, they're down at the start then. Good luck whichever way you're playing then. It's 3 o'clock at Kelso time, as my mic pack goes all over the place. All right, we're having fun here. We've got, around about 3 or 4 races at most to give you. We're playing for the trophy here. We're playing for profit, for the injured jockey's fun, and I think, no matter what happens, we're going to end that just about in front. We're going to put Nell's son on.
Should we do Nell's son?
I would like to put Nell's son on.
Should we do £10 on there? So we just won. We just won, didn't we? What? Who tipped that one? £10 win on Nelson.
Yeah, I mean Twitter at the moment is just having to look 3 times at that clip probably that's out there, isn't it? But yeah. And Paul Keeley got the wrong outsider in that as well, which is even more insufferable for me. The flag is up though.
That will actually really bother him as well. It will really bother Kills. Like he will have backed the winner, right? He will have backed the winner, the big bite.
He would have done.
But it will really annoy him that he has not tipped it. And I've been there myself. It's very annoying. We take a lot of pride in our tipstering.
Talking about bothering, there's a lot of people bothered about the Zanza drift and the way he ran. That's weird. I mean, we'll talk about that, guys, if you want. Tell us, give me the succinct, and I'll talk about it.
I thought we explained why he wasn't.
You would take. They're off.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're off then at Kelso. Good luck whichever way you play.
Rafferty's return, taking up.
It is our penultimate race. Do you want to give a call here, Bats?
No, not really. Thank you.
Come on. Your stock is so hot at the moment, Matty.
You're really high, aren't you?
But your place at the top of the leaderboard,
is second.
I think has been your second, are you? Marvellous. There's our tips then. Team tips, and we backed
Nelson.
paying up a bit of profit already for the Injured Jockeys Fund. Nelson, who sits in midfield, which is where we hoped he would be. I think he's had a win dot. Let's hope he's done him good.
Donny Boy second.
Santos is right out the back. Those of you that have followed in the Skeletons and the hat-trick plot, he's right out the back at the moment. What's this?
Alistair Picton on the outside.
Donny Boy.
Donny Boy,
Interesting
second.
horse, Donny Boy. I thought it was going to be a right old horse as a novice, didn't they? Haven't really gone on with it.
No, you're right. Yeah, Dance with the whatever it's called. They went a good pace with Dance with the Woods last time out, and he was bang up there the whole way. He jumped really, really well, and it looks like they're doing the same. But Rafferty's returns off in front. That John Wade, he used to be a trainer, didn't he?
Yes,
he was like an owner trainer, wasn't he?
That's right, and that's where Rebecca Menzies now trains at John.
Oh
Wade's.
right, okay.
He's one of the richest men in Durham.
Yeah, he owns Durham.
He owns Durham.
Right.
I've met John Wade back in the day.
Lovely
He's a
fella.
Lovely character.
Lovely
and he used to have horses with Howard Johnson and spread around. He's put all of his eggs in Rebecca Menzies' basket.
That's nice for Rebecca.
Which is nice. And on we go. On we go. We're moving on. Well Educated is a very topically named horse all of a sudden. Oh dear, I've done an innuendo without realising it. Oh dear, oh dear.
Where's that green when you where's that green when
I've
you
done
need that?
that green.
You have.
Oh,
You've done that
composure,
green.
Dave Orton, composure. Where's Clay Rogers? We're watching it basically as we're going through it. We're hoping that Rafferty's return doesn't win this because we are on Nelson.
Come on, Nels.
Oh, if John Wade wins this, he'll be sending in an email. I've asked him to send praise to the editor. I think I'm about to get some bells from John, aren't I? Okay, all right. So I've seen the case, by the way, guys, for Zanza. We'll have a chat about that after this. I've seen it, and all right, okay. Apparently, there's a big thing on ITV about it as well, so we'll have our say on that. Okay, all right. Where are we going? How's Rafferty's going?
He's going well.
In front, travelling well. He's very brave at a few of his hurdles.
Do you think that's
very brave?
What does that mean for people out there watching?
So he just keeps coming up out of Shawnee's hands on very, very long strides. So I'd like to go in. He jumped that one a little bit better. As a jockey, you'd like to see him just go in and pop, just so he can just reserve his energy a little bit.
This wouldn't be a shock if he makes all in this, would it?
No, not at all.
Unlike the potential score of Arsenal-Bournemouth, who apparently Arsenal are 1-0 down after a minute.
Oh.
Not that they saw the choke coming or anything like that. Or will carry mission control. I wonder why it gone quiet out there.
How's the Mighty Seagulls getting on, Dave?
I don't know. We'll check the football scores for you out there as well. And we will talk about that Zanza thing. It's only fair. Santos Blue does not look like he's going well to my eye. He's out the back and he's rowing away a little bit. Mr. Ben Sutton taking the ride. Anything else?
I'm happy with us. Are you, Dave? I think we're travelling quite well.
We're travelling fine.
We're
travelling fine.
Just hopefully not doing too much too soon.
7 ahead of us. Rafferty's return will some point try and kick
Nelson, of course, yeah.
Dancing with the Wind is coming up as well. This very progressive horse for Harriet Graham and Gary Rutherford. I Rights connections. Edward Austin, good little rider he is. I say little rider, they're all little, aren't they? You know.
Well, you got one next year.
I've got you on stilts. I know I have. What's this out the back? I'm trying to get this.
Come on, Nelson. This is travelling,
Clay
Dave.
Rogers, it is.
This is travelling.
Who you got looking at? Santos Blue?
Nelson, this is travelling, Dave. This is travelling.
This will be marvellous if this
would be
goes
marvellous
in.
if this goes in. Come on, the Nels.
Come on. All right. Okay.
Yeah, how many we've got to go? 3?
3 hours.
Good one.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone. Oh, he's fallen.
No, he hasn't. Has he?
Yeah, he's
Oh, you're
fallen.
slightly ahead of me. All right, okay. All right. Oh, no, just going round for the first time. It's 2 mile 5 this is K as well, isn't it?
What a shame.
Just looking at that back, yeah, that's a strange
Travelling so well.
That's a strange old thing, wasn't
Really
it?
was travelling well.
Rafferty still in front, Batch?
Yeah, he's just niggling a little bit now. I think they're going to
Who's this on the outside? This is going to win it, isn't it? On the
Dancing
outside.
with the Wind, isn't it?
No, on the
Oh,
left.
all of a sudden, you're looking in trouble. This is Santos Blue coming. This is the hat-trick seeker.
Yeah, he's travelling, isn't
And
he?
this is well-educated, the horse I said him running as well at some point. Oh, they're all over the shop here, aren't they? This is Donny Boy,
Cool.
the Alexanders, who had a memorial race and opened the card.
Who's this riding?
Santos.
Ben Sutton.
This
He's
is
not
Ben
very...
Sutton, yeah.
Mr. Ben Sutton,
Has he
yeah.
got strange tack here as well? Look, he's hanging on for dear life, isn't he?
I think the horse is hanging.
I just don't think Ben's...
Whoa.
Well, listen, if he gets over this, the horse has obviously got a lot in hand,
Yeah,
because this is
exactly,
going to be fair play to Chris Timms. This was your nap today. It's absolutely hosed up. I wasn't sure how it was going, Chris, on the far side. But it has won by what? 5, 6, 7. Donny Boy comes back to form. Rafferty's trying to come back for third. In fact, he might just get that. That's a point on the board for Batch. And an eventful race. An eventful race. Bit of a weird one, that, wasn't it?
I think we would have given that a race, personally, if we hadn't come down, Nelson.
You've done Tom Collins.
Remember
there.
Tom Collins? Yeah.
Long way out,
Back in,
G-Rod,
yeah.
long way out.
He's
Jason
travelling well.
Militant, wasn't it? When that fella...
He said it. I think he said it would definitely have won.
He did. But he got
Which was excellent.
utter pelters.
Yeah, but anyway, no, the winner did it well, and the jockey held on for dear life. And
He's 3 from
got it
3 in
home.
handicap company. This chap. He had good. I think he came for the points, didn't he?
His
Yeah, he
saddle has
did.
gone.
His saddle has gone.
His saddle has gone,
Well,
yeah.
they better
Goodness
hope.
because Ben was looking very awkward on that.
Yeah.
I
wasn't
hope
he?
the saddle the only thing that you know.
If you're an amateur down at the Skelters,
When we saw him top in the last, the mister in front of his name looked quite...
yeah,
But his saddle has gone. We're
Yeah,
giving
we thought Maxie was on the sidelines, but he made a comeback all of a sudden.
it had gone round a bit.
For those of you looking at Ireland today, I really fancy Musicatara in the 310. Rachel Blackmore and Henry Bromhead. I really fancy it. You can get about 6 places out there with some bookmakers. It was a huge eye catcher at Leopardstown.
Is this in your race form eye catchers?
I haven't done. I wasn't charged with doing that.
You wasn't on it.
No, but I would have. But this would have been 100 because it was one of the eye catchers of the season for me. She's 0 from 6 this mare, but they run her over 2 miles. She wasn't. She's not quick enough for it. Unanswered. Do you remember when that landed a gamble at Cheltenham early in the season? That second favour was a good race, but I'll be very, very disappointed if this doesn't go and turn it out. Anyway, we digress. That's the 3-ton coming up. Tom Leach says Santos Blue is awesome. Cakey Bakey, great name, and a great cake emoji.
Tom Leach is having a good day, isn't he?
Boom, the Sutton owned and ridden winner. Okay, good out there. Right, let's go to this Zanza thing that's been annoying everyone. That was a previous race at Newbury. Massive drift. I think what was he when the markets opened up, G? He was around about 3s, wasn't he? Paint the Dream was Fav.
Yeah. Paint the
Zanza was
Dream and
second
Zanza were market leaders, weren't they?
What's he gone off in the end?
And he's gone off, what, has he gone off 15-2 or something like that? He's a big drifter.
He was also doubly entered, don't forget that, Zanza. He was beaten after, 4 fences today?
Yeah.
He's more than doubled in the market, and everyone is a Denman Chase winner. running back in handicap. But why didn't we like him before the race? None of us liked him, did we? None of us tipped him.
Well, I mean,
Who tipped him? Was he tipped out there? Let's have a look.
I said to Batch before the race that Zanza's a horse who needs time between his races, and to my eye, he had quite a hard race that day at Newbury when he won the Demon Chase, and he was trying to back it up 3 weeks later very quickly for him. Not for the normal horse, but for Zanza, he's a horse that usually runs his best races after a bit longer on.
And that's been his whole career. So why wouldn't you take him on?
As soon as I saw him at the top of the market, I was thinking, take him on because he might be still feeling the effects of that win.
But a lot of people are looking at that drift today and saying it stank. I'm afraid, guys, we're not really with you. I don't think.
Well, the thing is that he was, in my opinion, too short in the market anyway as well. So it's probably a combination of him being short enough in the market to start with and people looking to take him on. Like me, I automatically saw him there and thought, well, he's short enough, I'll take him on. And possibly, somebody somewhere knowing that maybe he wasn't at his absolute sharpest. He was still out there trying.
Paul Summerfield agrees with you, by the way, the community out there. He says short turnaround from his last race. But Paul is not having this at all. He's gone mad, Paul has. Absolutely mad.
What's the worry?
He was beaten from the start long before weights came into it and all that sort of stuff.
But do you remember this
not letting this go.
This is something that I want to throw in now, is that I've heard a lot of people saying that Shishkin, is head and shoulders above his opposition in the
Ryanair.
You're worried about the quick turnaround.
And I am worried about the quick turnaround. Now, Zanza there has run a bit like Shishkin did in last year's Champion Chase.
Yeah.
When it was again, for me, Shishkin produces a lot of big figures off of breaks, and then he hasn't always, as we saw in last year's Champion Chase.
You could even argue in the Supreme when he won it, he went massive on Betfair. And that.
He has not always backed it up.
Arguably, though, G-Rod, the race at Ascot took a lot more out of him last year than the race at Ascot this year.
Well, because he finished on the bridle this time, pretty much.
He's done it a lot easier.
But you don't know.
To give that a bit of... You're basically now betting that Shishkin doesn't bounce, right? Because put simply, if he turns up in that form, he wins.
Personally,
right?
Yeah, I think he does.
Personally,
100%.
Yeah.
He's different class to the rest of them.
Yeah.
I think it's even money that he bounces, and that's what the price is. So that's why I think that he's that big.
He'll do well to get evens out there, G-Rod, at the minute. This is Shishkin, of course, and the Ryanair, which have all of a sudden now got this star billing.
I'm not saying Shishkin is going to bounce, but I think there's a serious possibility that he will not reproduce.
And that race, over the years, Corto Star, that's when he got beaten in the Gold Cup. I seem to remember Mastermind had a really hard race in it. We never really, he never really recovered. It's always been a race that has got chase. In recent seasons, that has been for something like Fakadu Dairies that's going to have a look at Aintree and Punchdown or whatever, different races. But it's a tougher race.
The problem for a lot of punters, and I think you're getting this with Zanza, is that sometimes, Batch will be different to the way that you and I probably look at races. Like, you can get lulled into us just looking at form and what's on paper and forget that these are actually animals that don't always turn up and run the same race every time they run, and that is essentially what's happened with Zanza, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's no surprise though, because he's done it before.
He's done it before.
So I don't get why there's a big hoo-ha about it.
Well, I think because the insinuation is that somebody somewhere knew that the horse was not right, and as a result, that information has gone out. Yeah. But then,
so was he?
That's not to say they weren't trying. Of course,
he was
out there trying.
Well, truly before the race.
He's definitely out there trying. That's madness.
He was out there trying, definitely. But he somebody somewhere knew he wasn't right, and that showed up in the market.
Okay, shall we try and find the winner? Because we're going to Doncaster, back up to the Town Moor, and it's a race that does cut up a little bit because seasonally at the moment it tends to be quite quick ground up there, and is the Grinthorpe Chase and Cooper's Cross, of course, who we saw taking the Sky Bet Chase last month, which was a lovely career best for Sam Coulthard and Stuart Coulthard, his trainer. In Benson colours, as we call them, who took out the Morebattle. Under supervision has been the Gamble of the race, last year's winner, back on the same mark, was threatening to show his true colours for unseating last time behind Cooper's Cross. Can he reverse that form? A lot of you out there think that will be the case. Let's find out what the panel reckon.
I don't think you can truly trust under supervision. I don't think you can really go there with much faith. I think Cooper's Cross, I think his win last time out, only gone up £5.
Are we unanimous?
I think he's one to beat, definitely. Cooper's Cross.
Are we unanimous on Cooper's Cross?
Yeah, I think he'll win. There's only one horse who I think can beat him, and that's the horse that I tipped against him in last time he won, which was Windsor Avenue.
He just never wins.
But he doesn't win very often. He's getting old. But if he puts his best foot forward, Windsor Avenue can beat him. But the way that Cooper's Cross just ran away from him last time, I find it very difficult to believe that
Because, of
Windsor
course,
Avenue...
Garlaw was also going to be involved in that finish as well.
Yeah, and Captain
who
Ord,
unfortunately fell.
Captain Ord was second. And
And he
that
came out and won at Ascot.
came out
Forget
and
his
won at
Kenton
Ascot.
for me. That
Forget his
came too
Kenton.
soon, I think.
Another
didn't it?
race that came too soon.
Yeah.
for Captain
Look,
Ord.
shall we put on the bet then? This is a rare jolly that we're backing for the injured jockeys.
Yeah,
fund. I think
yeah.
we can afford 20 quid, can't we, after your marvellous
Yes.
performance earlier?
Yeah, I think we can get 20.
did I
He's
say that?
drifting slightly, Cooper's Cross, so we're getting...
What about Sporting John?
Oh, man.
I know he's-
First time blinkers, isn't
I know,
it?
your first time blinkers.
A few
Grade
people tipping him
one
up to
winner.
me yesterday. I'm not sure about the ground for him as well. Maybe he'll be all right on it, but I've always had him down as a bit of a slopper. Grade 1 winning chaser, though, of course.
Yeah.
He's completely lost his way for team obs.
I'm not sure he's... Oh, I know he's won a Grade 1, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I just never thought he
That was when I famously said put on another 0 for the first
Sandown,
time.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Sandown with,
The Silly Isles.
with Ricky.
It was the Silly Isles,
With
wasn't it?
Ricky Johnson, yeah.
Ricky
That was when I was screaming Ricky, which I think he loved. Castle Robin for Charlie Longston. Brian Hughes, the champion jockey, on his own patch, basically. That's been well backed. Showed his true colours at the third time of asking. Has won around here. This is a next leap of faith for his form for me. Maroda, who's probably working back towards some spring targets. There's been money for Maroda, James Best and Seamus Mullins. He's a dour stayer. This might even be too sharp for him, believe it or not. 3 mile 2 around here. And Neville's Cross for Tom Lacey. Not Tom's day today so far. And he's a bit of a thinker, old Neville's, but he'll like the ground. Right.
So
Good
are
luck.
we
We're
all on Coopers?
Are we
Yeah,
on?
we're all on the fav. Yeah, we've
on
got
the
20,
fav.
and we've got £20 for the injured jockey fund.
What did we
on
get? What was the
Cooper's
best
Cross.
odds on the app?
It was 85 to 40 we got.
We shall take that old school.
And
odds.
they're off.
On lovely, off we go then, and it is going to be a bit of a tie for the lead here,
There's
isn't
a lot
it?
of pace
Castle
on.
Robin likes to get on with it under supervision.
Yeah,
He's
Windsor
definitely
Avenue.
at it today, isn't he?
Coopers Cross just letting him race.
Yeah.
Look, he's taking his time.
He can enjoy this, isn't he, I think?
Yeah, might just fall in his lap.
He likes a nice pace, doesn't he? He was a strongly run race last time he won here.
Tom Siegel's music guitar beat in the final yards. Rykenham fan tells me I couldn't see that.
Oh, you're one. Unlucky.
Oh, well, I hope you backed each way in the places. Oh, did she get beaten? Oh, never mind. All right, I couldn't quite see that. All right, okay. Windsor Avenue goes on now then. Back to Doncaster we go. You can see the race is off down there. There were your SPs then. What did he go off? Cooper's Cross. Was he 13 to 8 in the end?
No, I think he went off a bit bigger than that. I think
Oh,
he went off 15
did
to
he?
8, I think.
Did he? 15 to 8. All right, okay. All right then. Okay, under supervision last year's winner. Tom's case, of course, was that he, despite the fact he was running on at the end of the Sky Bet, and this is a stiffer test, they dropped him a couple of pounds. And he'll like the ground and everything like that. And I have to say, having backed him a couple of times so far this season, he looks to me, Batch, on a going day in second, about 5 off Windsor Avenue.
Yeah, he's going all right. He looks to be enjoying it.
Great leap there.
Yeah.
For him as well,
Bad
isn't it?
jump by Cooper's Cross.
Yeah.
Very slow. Very slow at the back. He just hasn't looked at it yet, Cooper's Cross, to my eye. He's just needing to be niggled along. He's missed a couple of fences. I'm a bit worried about him at such a short price, Dave.
Long way to go.
Oh, yeah, he put down there a
Missed
bit as
that
well.
one.
I mean, this is 35 days after the Sky Bet. I wonder how many horses have successfully done the Sky Bet Grimthorpe double. That was something that I was thinking about. He probably did have a hard race. But look, we've got a long way to go. We've still got another circuit to go, and he's hunting him up at the back because he's never been over this far before. So this will be, 3 out next time around? Is it 4 in the home straight?
4 out.
4
Yeah,
out next
4 in the
time
home
around.
straight, yeah.
Maroda's on good terms with himself as well for Seamus Mullins. Just mentioned there'd be some
Sporting
sneaky
John's
money
enjoying
for him.
himself.
Yeah, the blinkers perking him up
Yeah.
slightly. It's just what's under the bonnet these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, off we go. That'll be 3 out next time around. Then Windsor Avenue, loving life out in front. He's a course winner, of course. Is he a former Sky Bet winner, Windsor Avenue? Let me find out. Hang on.
He's won one of these.
on,
He has won one of
Hang
these.
Hang on.
Yeah, he loves
It was the Sky
and
Bet.
he loves
beat Storm
Doncaster.
Control. Do you remember?
He loves
when Storm
Doncaster,
Control
yeah.
basically stopped.
Yeah.
With 5 lengths ahead at the last, and he picked up. Captain Orr was in that race as well. So
he
it wasn't
was
that long ago that he won it.
Gifted a Sky Bet.
Yeah, he was, absolutely.
He's getting an awful lot of an easier lead than he got here last time, though, Dave, in the same race that Cooper's Cross
Have
won.
you had a saver on this chap?
I haven't, but I wish I had done
No,
because
he
he's
just-
travelling
I
quite
don't
well.
know.
But
I don't know.
he is an old horse.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, Sam
not
Twiston
sure.
Davies is not happy that the lead is getting it all his own
Yeah,
way. 'Cause he's gone up his
yeah.
inside there. Maroda, who, again, I'm waiting for Maroda to come back. I didn't think it would be today, but he's going really, really well in third at the moment, albeit as they go out onto the final circuit with loads of grass still to cover. Neville's Cross, he hasn't done anything wrong so far, and Cooper's Cross, we are looking at him. We want to see just a bit more
Yeah,
nimble feet, don't we,
I want to
boys?
see him
He's
start
jumped the last few a bit better.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you want to be on him at 15 to 8 Coopers.
Mission Control just
not
came in
been
there.
great.
Castle Robin missed that. I'm not sure how happy Castle Robin is about being taken on the inside here. I'm not totally sure. If Brian Hughes on the inside, he just makes him look like they go so
better.
well, Brian.
Now
doesn't
he's
he?
starting
But
to
all of a
move
sudden,
up
the
now.
arms are starting to flail about a little bit if you're on Castle Robin, who was well backed. Under supervision then, we know he stays every single yard, and he's putting it up now to Windsor Avenue, which is good for Cooper's Cross fans, I think, guys, right?
Yeah, I think that's going to help us.
A bit of
Although-
pressure.
Still happy with Cooper's Cross.
Yeah, he's travelling better now.
Yeah, travelling better. I don't want to jinx it, but he was.
This is the penultimate race of the day. Would you believe it? Time does fly when you're having fun. It's been great to have you with us this afternoon, guys. We'll hopefully call this one, and then we'll go back up to Kelso for the Premier Chase. We're expecting a Grand National marker to be thrown down. Who will it be? Get your comments in. You've got plenty of time. But this is what, around about 8 fences out, I think. I'll tell you what, Maroda's absolutely
That's better, wasn't it,
Yeah,
Gio?
much better there.
Cooper's Cross is now jumping, is he?
Much
Yes.
better there, but he's
Aye,
he's a long way behind, Dave.
There's a long way to go, though, Gio.
He's a long way behind.
Long way to go. We're only just gone down Rose
Brighton
Hill.
are 1-0 up batch
Come
against
on!
West Ham, I can tell you. Arsenal still
Sorry,
losing.
G-Rod. Who scored?
McAllister, of all
Yeah.
people, the World Cup
Alexis.
winner.
Where, I mean, we got to go 5, 6?
No, more
left
than
to
that.
done?
6, I
No,
reckon.
six.
At least 6.
We've got 2 on the bend, haven't we?
At least 6.
2 on the bend, Gio.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's deceiving here. You come in, there's like another
Oh
bend, isn't
yeah,
there?
yeah, another bend. Yeah, you're right. Windsor Avenue still going well in front, Dave.
Yeah, no, he's not. And the moment you said that, the jockey starts rowing along.
Oh, he's going all right. Come on, Coopers. He's going well, but he's a long way behind Coopers.
He is, but we know he's the horse with the turn of foot, isn't he?
Don't worry about the
And he's at just a
Coopers.
marvellous pace. And again, a little bit slow there, Coopers.
He's a
again.
little bit
Sounds
sluggish
like-
at some of these.
Okay, this is where we need the jockey amongst
Don't
us.
you worry
G-Rod.
about the Coopers.
I'm a little bit worried about him.
Don't worry about the
Batch.
No,
Coopers,
he's coming
G-Rod.
fine. He's
I'm
coming
worried.
fine.
Don't
Sporting
worry.
John's starting to wind up. Surely not. Okay, over Coopers again. That was 5 out.
great.
Now all of a sudden I've given the Sporting John's fans a little bit of hope because he's been badly
Well,
outpaced
this is a
on his
confident
ground.
ride back.
Confident,
What's he
he's
doing?
Confident ride.
Look
What's he
at
doing?
him.
This is a
He's
guy that's won the
uncovered.
Fox Hunter
Don't
Notes, of
you
course,
worry
at
about
Aintree.
the
He's
Coopers.
got a lot of bottle of Sam Coulter.
Oh, very
And he pulls him
confident.
widest of all. Last year's winner, though, Tom
There we
Siegel.
go.
And under supervision, he's going to take a lot of pegging back, guys, I think. He's on a going day here. Here comes the
Here comes
Coopers.
Coopers
Will
down
he
the
stay?
outside.
That's the question.
Of course he will.
Maroda's absolutely testing him now. He's got the turn of foot, Coopers. Sam
Come
Tristan
on,
Davis
Coopers.
is all of a sudden finding it a bit tough. On under supervision.
Come on,
Great jump under supervision.
Coopers.
Under all of a sudden, Castle Robin Sporting John beat Maroda. I told you, man, he's on a good day, and he stays all day long.
2 to go.
Is this 2 to go?
2 to
And he
go.
doesn't want to go for him at all, young Cooper.
not gonna stay,
Might
Dave.
be on under supervision here, guys. I think
Yeah, I don't think
slow
he's
jump
gonna
by
stay,
Coopers.
Coopers.
Coopers isn't getting home.
No.
He's not getting home. But Maroda could be spoiling the Tom Siegel and under supervision regalia party because. I think he's going to do this, guys, isn't he?
Well,
Oh, he's
beautiful,
come up beautifully
beautiful.
over that. What a little ride this was. Absolutely superb stuff. James Best, great to see him
James
taking it out.
Best.
Looks like he is going to see it out. Yes, the Dow style.
Hey, stop him, Dave.
That is Maroda. What on earth are you shouting about? There's no VAR there, man. That's half a length. Under supervision then, gives £1 in the handicap to Maroda. And they finish around about half a length up. Great to see James Best. He's one of the good guys, Bestie, isn't he?
Yeah, he works. He's absolute off, and he's been plagued with injury. So yeah, fair play to James Best. He's oh, look, he's loving it, Bestie.
Did anyone have some sneaky money on that? Because we did call it beforehand. He's gone off, around about 18, 16 to 1. That price was long gone, by the way, guys, by the way. He opened up around about 40 to 1 yesterday. Yeah. So Seamus Mullins, who's been training as long as anyone out there, they've got the ground, haven't they? He is a doubt stay. He's won over 3 mile 6, this bloke, and you've had to stay, Batch. Coopers hasn't got home, has he?
No, Coopers ain't got home. Hasn't stayed. Great ride, great for James, and yeah, fair play to Seamus Mullins. He's been around for years. Good
And the
trainer.
lightweights have dominated that race, haven't they? You know, all the bottom of the handicap there.
I think there's. I was looking at the statistics. Anything over 11 stone hasn't won since 2016. Last
Windsor
Samurai.
Avenue's run a blinder, absolute blinder.
Yeah.
Of course, it was because Does He Know was entered in this. Of course, he was due to carry 12 stone, wasn't he? So they were basically all under 11 stone, the rest of them. But the lightest weights have won, and like I say, you can tell that we enjoyed that because if you ever worked with James Best as a journalist, or if you're ever doing punditry with him, we had him on a water shout, and he lost that decent Walford horse, didn't he? Walk in the Mill.
Yeah, Walk in the Mill. Yeah.
It was, of course, the national horse, and he's had a couple of injuries, but he's a really nice guy. When
We
he
used to
came
call
in-
him Churchill.
Did you? Why? Because he's nodding all the time.
Yeah, right, there we go.
I tell you but they're lovely that you're out of the way.
Oh, they're delighted I'm out of the way.
I bet they are.
You just go, all right, James. Oh, yes.
Here's a quote coming your way. Heather Haddock, what's her name? The past owner of the Big Bite says, it's been a long time coming, but that was the plan. And with a bit of patience, the Big Bite has paid off. He's frustrating, but he's been a great favourite. Well, hopefully he's back on song. There might be something at Aintree for him, or even here back at March at the final meeting, the jumps meeting. Will you be following him in again, or have you got your lot out of it now? No, thank you.
I think that he might well have won his race for the next year or so.
Yeah, all right, good stuff. All right, one more to come here. We're around about, 10 or 12 minutes away. This is a good time to plug our guide, isn't it? I mean, we've got a few pull-outs.
Yeah.
We've got the ultimate guide, which is absolutely different gravy. We're talking about a lot of that tomorrow here in the studio, but...
Yeah, we've got the Cheltenham guide, the Cheltenham book.
The glossy
The
one.
glossy Cheltenham book, yeah. So you can buy that now online, I think, and in most good bookstores, no
I
doubt.
did the analysis on the chases in that. Richard Lowther did the hurdlers.
Yeah, there's the tipping pieces. Paul Keeley's race by race guide, so every single race.
If you're going to take one to
covered.
the festival, guys, that is the one.
Yeah.
It's different gravy.
So-
Nick Pulford puts it together, and he's one of the best operators in the game, bar none. And I thoroughly enjoyed doing it, actually. You get loads of tips from Kills, of course, but also the in-depth analysis as well. How the season's gone so far for the novices. What are the key form races? Dark performers. Balco Coastal, I just kept coming back to, I'm not sure I can actually see him winning a Turners as it stands on previous form so far. But 20-1 was obscene. And when Solo went and won the Pendle, who he slammed, albeit on the ground that maybe Solo didn't like so much, of course, because he likes good ground as well. I think Nico went a bit too hard against Jerry Colombe.
I think he needed the run.
Did you?
I think
Fascinating
from
batch.
the pond fence, I think he just went for his girth a little bit. And I think Henderson thinks that too. I think he might just have left him a little bit
He
short.
jumped a little bit to his left
Yeah.
as well. So look, that's what I've put in that guide out there, Balco Coastal. If there's a long shot of the festival,
It's a
I'd be
great
putting
price,
him up.
yeah.
Big price. Yeah. And you take out the top two in the betting in that Turners, and he's got a right chance of having a sale.
Yeah, I think you might be on the right lines there.
It's lovely, isn't it?
I do like Jerry Colombe though.
Oh,
I like the real whacker.
Do you?
Yeah, I like the
Do you
real
think
whacker.
you're running that with the Gold Cup?
I think you go, yeah.
I really like
Responsibly.
the real whacker as a horse.
Yeah, I like
The
it.
Dipper has worked out so well in the last 20 years.
I just love horses with course form as well.
Towards
He's won,
Cheltenham.
Yeah.
he's won twice round there, and he's wore his heart on his sleeve and gone out there and absolutely attacked them
Where did it
fences.
used to be run, the Dipper?
Yeah, it was at Newcastle.
Newcastle, wasn't
Yeah, they moved it to Cheltenham, haven't they?
Yeah.
And it's been a success since
It
then.
really has, yeah, absolutely. Marauder, Grand National quotes, 20s from 50s, which brings us beautifully onto our final race because
What
we
weight's he
are...
got in the national, Marauder, then?
What's that?
What weight's he got in that?
Look, I don't know off the top of my head, do I?
You
You've
getting
thrown that
that?
right to me, haven't you?
would he?
Unlikely. What was he on there? Let's have a look. So he was on
He had
131. You
won't
need
get in
to
there,
be a 140 horse at least now, don't you, to get in there?
He ain't getting in that.
I think. But look, there are lots of nice races available for him, and maybe the Bet365 Gold Cup would be a lovely side for him, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
He's such a good jumper. when
Scottish
he's on
National?
side. Scottish National. I think they might have had a crack at that before, have they? Let's have a little look for which Kitty's looks like he's heading to. Have they been up to air before? No, they wanted to get him in and they couldn't get him qualified last year. I remember all the stories now. You can get this in your members club about Marauder. Seamus Mullins has been quite vociferous about it. I don't think he was hard enough in the handicap last year to get in it. He is now. That will be the one. Well done, Batch. You really are hot at the moment,
Oh,
Batch,
I'm on
aren't you?
fire.
He's on fire.
He's got a new hip. It's like he's got a new brain. It's remarkable. Right, one race to go then. We're talking about the Grand National, getting quotes coming in. And who's going to lay down the marker then? Will it be the Coral Gold Cup? Old Hennessy winner, Lamilos, who's 2 from 2 for the Skelton since joining that yard. He has lots of Kelso form as well. Or will it be the Shunter, who I put in the lucky 15 for the Injured Jockeys Fund today and napped him yesterday on What a Shout. Empire Steel, who's been the big mover in the race, I suppose, and Sandy Thompson, who took out our very first race, the Morebattle at 150, where I'm mainly on a double there, and Wishing and Hoping, who pulled off a right shot, didn't he, last time out under Alex Edwards, and of course Mel Rowley is trainer in that veterans handicap. Good to see him. He'll probably tow them along, won't he? I think.
I would have thought so, yeah.
We've got
What's
one
the
more
old
bet, I think.
standings?
Oh yeah, what's the standings
be
on
close,
the doors?
isn't it?
Scores on the doors, please, Mission Control.
Yeah, Coopers, nothing for no one, was it? We all had Coopers, so
Where are we? Come on, get it ready.
Must
Come
be all
on.
down to this
I
race.
bet you're on the Favir, aren't you?
I am.
Tell you what, if we were coming back in from the moon with Mission Control, we'd be landing in the sea, wouldn't we, with them today? Come on, Mission Control. Let's get the standings
You
up,
wouldn't have wanted
please.
them on the Apollo 13 mission, would you?
Oh, and it's happy reading for me.
Ooh. What you got in the shunter though, haven't you?
We just know that G-Rod can't win.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can't win,
between
between you two.
Now, come on then, let's have it. Who are you going head to
Okay,
head
can I
with?
just say, I think it should actually be decided by SPs.
I had Benson, so again, I'm probably wiping the floor with
You
you.
can't be changing the rules halfway through the day.
This is the big bite.
At the end of the
Rodway,
day.
isn't it?
Lamilos for me.
Why?
Coral Cup winner. I just think new yard, new lease of life. Yeah, he's
Roughed him off since and beat Remastered that day. I was looking at the form of that. Of course, Remastered came out, didn't he? And he won at Kempton.
Kempton.
I'm just hearing from Mission Control, double points for Nap.
No.
Just made that.
I mean, unless you're telepathic, which is one thing you're definitely not. It's not. This is what Nat Green did last week. She got a forecast and they actually promoted her up.
Did they? So they changed the rules during the
If
game.
you looked in the tips as well, I might have Nat Benson. So no, my Nat comes up here. And
I
it is
don't
the
believe
Shunter.
that.
You know, the Shunter's a fascinating horse. He's equally rated with your chap, Lamilos, and yet he gets £4 off him here. I think he'll love
He's
the
going to
ground.
need it, Dave.
He's well, the thing is, he will get in a national.
Yeah.
And do they want him to have too hard a race? I don't know. But, of course, Cloth Cap, you remember, his career best came in this race 2 seasons ago, didn't it? Flopped in the national, but that was down to breathing. Many Clouds, who'd won the national, came back, ran in this race, and then didn't quite go and do it. The beautiful Many Clouds. Is a grand national pointer, but a great race in its own right, and it's worth 34 grand to the winner. And that's why the Skeltons are here, isn't it?
Of course it
Because
is,
they're
yeah.
so good at looking at the programme. But we'll give a nice little break. We know he's a national horse. They said it after Newbury. He won that despite the ground, I think. But he should be all right on this if he can
And
win
this probably
there.
fits in quite nicely because when he won the race at Newbury, he'd had a run-up banger, hadn't he? Where
Yes.
I think he won, and he sort of used that as a stepping stone to then go and put in a bigger performance at Hennessy. And I suspect that's been my only thing. I'm not sure, a bit like you were saying with the Shunter, I'm not sure the Milos will be absolutely, peaked for this, will he? Whereas the one horse that will be peaked for this is Empire Steel, isn't it? Because the trainer loves...
Tell us about your dad's bet on this.
Yeah, my old man texted me yesterday and he said that on Monday he backed Empire Steel 50 to 1 for this race, 3 places. So he's on this horse 50 to 1 each way with 3 places. And how many are in the race?
4.
4.
So you know what's going to happen?
So if this horse finishes 4th, it's going to be the most unlucky bet I've ever seen. However,
it's a shrewd bet, isn't it?
it's quite a shrewd play. I mean, I did say to him, it's a lovely position to have. I just pray you don't finish 4th. So
well, if he comes up and top, it's not gone Empire Steel's way this season. The big target was the Roland Merrick, and I don't know, there was a ground went against him or something in that, but he was scratched from it. They went to Sandown. He was punted there, and he never raised a leg. He has won here, of course, at the February meeting last season, which was his big day in the sun last season.
I mean, this apparently was the logic. I mean, I'm only quoting what my old man told me, but he said, I was at Sandown the day that he ran, and I thought that all ran too bad to be true, and there would definitely be a race at Kelso for him. And this looks like the race, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, he has won over this course and distance, but he probably, on levels, look, with
But I
the
mean,
Shunter,
he needs
him to underperform.
I think Lamilos will win. I'm on Lamilos quite strongly.
The Shunter's a fascinating horse, isn't he? He was bought, of course, after winning the Racing Post Plate. That was, or whatever it's called this season. It's the 2 mile 4 handicap at Cheltenham. And that was after he won the Morebattle and did the famous bonus. He had a hard race, obviously. He went to Aintree, but he still pushed Protector. He'd have beaten Protector if he'd have jumped up the home straight. He hardly jumped the fence. He hasn't won over jumps for JP, but he was good enough to win a Sligo maiden on the flat. He likes good ground. And if you watch him back, when we last saw him in November, it was 4 to 1 favourite. He actually got taken off his feet from the start and Ace over 2 miles. He's running on strong. And I had a bit of a tete-a-tete with Kills about this. He goes, this is Lamilos, he'll win this. He's with Batchelor, who's being slammed, by the way, Lamilos. He's now gone odds on. Everything screams that this horse wants a trip. If you go back to the Galway plate behind Hewick, fascinating horse in a couple of weeks' time, Hewick in the Gold Cup, he was 8th, and he was running on very strongly that day under 11.4. Watch back the replay. You can do it. You've got time for this race. Everything to me looks like he is a creepy.
He is a creepy.
Hurdler in the making. Chase in the making.
The
Sorry.
market is suggesting that maybe this is not the race.
What is he on Betfair? He's still
quite-
holding his price around about
Is he?
11.4.
I mean, he's not.
on the exchange.
He's not a Zanza, is he? You know, he's not taking a huge walk in the market.
No,
but
he needs this to qualify. Of course, the rules being as they are, you've got to run in so many staying chases to get into.
Well, you
the
see,
national.
this is the weird thing. I mean, we had this discussion with Melrose the other day. Was you know, there was obviously this big thing about Garlaw needs to finish in the first 4 to qualify for the Grand National, and now apparently the only race that he can run in to qualify is the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
So he now needs to finish in the first 4 in the Gold Cup to have any chance of qualifying for the Grand National, because Jamie Snowden said this race came a bit too quickly.
He should be running in the Ryanair, I think, Garlow.
It does
because they've got this national dream. But Tom Siegel's put him in his price-wise column, saying that he's not running no bet. If he gets in, he can run a massive
Well,
race.
you've got to think, right, there's only 4 horses in this race, right? Now, even if Garlaw isn't absolute peak and he's only 85% rate and the race is coming a bit too soon, is it not worth just still sticking him in there and hoping that he sneaks into 4th?
Well, we stuck our Rovid reporter, Dave Lowe, down to the Cheltenham weights, handicap weights lunch, and he spoke to Jamie Stone. He said he's definitely going for the national. That is so it would have to be Gold Cup.
He's definitely going for the Gold
So
Cup.
he'll run in the Gold Cup. Yeah,
So he has to finish fourth.
I thought
He
if
has
there
to
was a
finish in the
dark
first
horse
4
in the
Gold
Ryan
Cup.
there, it might be Garlaw because that Paddy Powerful.
But you know, should he not be just running here anyway? I don't train the horse, and maybe the horse is not right. And Jamie Stone said the horse is not right. But even if he's not right, he's only
Why
got
not run in this?
he's only got to beat 1.
Yeah,
You know,
Exactly, yeah.
there's more chance of him beating 1 at 85%
fourth in the
fit
Gold Cup.
than there is
yeah,
of him
I
finishing
think you're
4th in
right.
the Gold Cup.
And again, it pains me to say it, like it will the rest of you out there that are watching.
I suppose when the trainer says he's not right, it depends.
Obviously, from a welfare perspective,
I know, but then
we've got to be.
That could mean so many. There's so many
Yeah.
variables to that. So you could sit here and argue all day, but
There
we
probably
don't
should
know.
be more options open to him, shouldn't
Yeah.
there? You know,
Well, of
that's
course
another
there
thing.
should.
But we don't know.
Well,
what,
having said that, I mean, there's only 4 in this race. I mean, we don't want more races like this. do
No,
we?
it's a fair point.
So,
All right, but we're hoping for an exciting race here, and we're going to be fingers on the buzzers for Graeme. I mean, he's 40 to 1 the shunter. I have had a bet on him for the national. He's not my big hope in that.
I don't think this is his day.
He's a big hope. Correct Rambler, isn't it?
Yeah. You remember after the... I was all over it for that. He was 25, he's now going to go off Fav, and he keeps going.
I don't fancy
Something
him.
will usurp him as Fav.
There's no way. There's no
horse.
way that Correct Ramble will win a
There'll
Gold
be something
Cup.
name definitely red or something
He
like
won't
that.
win a
Nice.
Grand National.
What, you think you get too far back?
Correct Rambler, yeah, be tailed off by halfway.
That's a ridiculous thing to say. You ever see
Second
one for
time at
Arthur?
Beeches, he'll be being pulled up.
That's a ridiculous thing to say, as usual, coming from you. And if anyone else said it, I might give it a bit of credence. But you are just trying to wind me up, and you're not going to. I'm not going to big bite it. And as we hoped, as they jump off in the final race of the day here on I Suppose Live, it is wishing and hoping, giving them a respectable clip, because this is the only way this horse can win this race is by getting loose on the lead, as he did at Sandown in that Veterans Handicap. Empire still a little bit lit up in third. Lamilos is going to try and keep this leader company, and the shunter, unsurprisingly, as is his wont, sees them all in. Okay, we've had a fence. Anything alarming at the minute, or is it as we were? Let's just sit back and enjoy this patch.
Sit back and enjoy.
You don't look disturbed at all. What was the SP in the end, I wonder, for Lamilos? It was definitely odds on, I think.
Odds on, yeah.
The shunter's drifting. No, he isn't going to win this, is he? He's not interested in winning this race, is he?
That is a ridiculous thing to say.
Yeah, they're just out there. They're trying to get him.
This is the Mullins
a
horse.
nice little prep run, you know, for the Grand National.
What a nice little prep run.
Nearly
And
went the
I'm
wrong
wishing
way.
and hoping nearly ran onto the hurdles course there as we go out onto the far side at Kelso. He had a big think about that, didn't he? The
They
veteran.
don't dull it off at Kelso, which is weird. You just have to trust them to go.
It's a
straight
beautiful
across.
track to visit, isn't
Do you
it?
remember?
Lovely,
Do you remember Noble Yates?
Yes.
Do you remember the
What
way
about
that
Noble
ran?
Yates?
Do you remember the way that ran at Wetherby that day?
Yeah.
That's the shunter.
Yeah, maybe. Emmett plays a different game, says Tom Siegel in his column today. Do you know, should I give you an interesting stat about Noble Yates?
What?
He's never run in a Grade 1.
No, probably right. Yeah.
Well, it is right.
Well, yeah.
It is right.
The Grand National's not a Grade 1, is
I am
it?
right. Don't worry about it. I've got some previews up my sleeve.
I have a feeling that he might be back for the Grand National, and he ain't going to win a Gold Cup.
Who, Yates?
I think he'll place though. I think he'll do a hedge hunter. He's got to be in the top 4.
Yeah.
Noble Yates, isn't he?
I
What wins the Gold
fancy-
Cup,
I
Batch?
fancy him.
I'm not sure.
Because we won't see you now. You're going to be at Cheltenham all week. What wins the Gold Cup as they go home straight for the first time at Kelso?
I just because in each way I'm going on Statler because I just think the form in Ireland, the extra 2 furlongs
Strong
at
with
that
the test.
price, I think he's strong for each way. I love Galloping Deschamps.
Yeah.
I think he's. It looks like he does say the way he
Real
finished
deal
in
there.
the way he finished in Ireland. Yeah.
Galloping's in one
Yeah.
lucky 15.
What's your lucky 15?
Okay, lucky 15. I like that. Shall we get? All right. What do you think about yours? I'll try and give mine. Do you know, I'm tempted to put Taurus in there. I'm not going to do it though. Wednesday's a big day for me. Wednesday is a big day. Hermes Allen's going in. I'm going to put. I'm going to. Do you know what? I'm going to go big. I'm going to put Charles Burns horse in the Gold Cup in it.
Yeah.
Run for Oscar. I'm going to put him in it. I'm going to put Gallopin in it.
Oh.
All right. I need 4, don't I?
Yeah.
And I'm going to put a Dream to Share in the bumper in it. They're my 4.
Interesting.
There is but that's not the banker of the week. I've not included in that. I just think Gaillard Domeni just wins the National Hunt Chase on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to put it in lucky 15.
I don't think he's going to run.
Don't be ridiculous.
Who?
Of course he runs in it.
Who?
Gaillard Domeni.
Where's he going to go?
I think he's going to run in the other race, the Brown Advisory.
What, the race he was 3rd in last year?
Yeah.
Not to hope it. He's too slow for that.
I don't think he
He's
is.
too slow for that.
I don't think he is.
You think because Ramillies is going to be the gamble?
I think
in that race?
yeah, but yeah.
I think he's too slow for
Would you like to tell us your lucky 15 as we go on the far side at Kelso? All to play for still?
I'm going to stick in Constitution Hill. I think he's an absolute certainty.
In a lucky... Right.
Galopin de Champ. Jerry Colomb for the Brown Advisory.
And I think it's not Fav?
Blazing Cow in the stairs.
Oh, who goes off? That's 4 favourites you've just given us.
Yeah, but if they all win, it's lucky 15,
Thanks
isn't
a lot,
it?
everyone
That's
says
the
that
whole
then.
point. That's the whole point of a multiple.
All right, well, I'll add it up
You
in
have
the
to have
pub later
winners.
and then I'll throw beer on him for you, don't worry about it. Lucky 15, you're obviously putting in... Come on.
Lucky 15.
Yeah, at Cheltenham. Well, all right, I'll concentrate back on this race then if you're still
Still mulling it over.
The Shunter's still about 2 lengths off Empire Still, who's going really well on the inside, but they haven't really gone for anything serious yet. Lamilos, whatever sort of hard race he had at Newbury's had a 98-day break. He was a bit in tight there a little bit. Lucky 15 at Cheltenham Batch.
Marine
we did a
National.
preview last night
Marine
with our very own
National.
Samar. Marine National.
Mighty Potter.
Mighty Potter.
Lossy Mouth.
Lucy Mouth, who might not go a favourite now in the Triumph.
Yeah. And I've got to stick him in. I've raved about him for the half. Jambon.
Jambon in the Arkle, who yet might still got a favourite there. Empire. I'll tell you what, the Shunter, I don't know what's happened to the Shunter. He's gone out the back of the telly and all of a sudden I'm not looking good for the trophy. This is not looking good for the Shunter.
She's looking good for the
because
trophy.
Wishing and Hoping has now stepped on the gas as he did at Sandown. He's not totally over yet, the Shunter, but you'd be surprised to see him win. Lamilos.
That's how confident I am. It's coming over here.
I'm not happy with that. He's got 1.3 wearing on the exchange, Lamilos, and he ranges up.
Milos.
The favourite.
Travelling, isn't he? Travelling well, the
I'll
the
tell you what,
Fab.
it's gonna be
Ominously
eye-catching
well,
with the Shunter, whatever he does.
G-Rods.
That, I think, is 3 out, guys. And I tell you, I'm really disappointed with the Shunter's run there. I was told, though, by Graeme, Rodway and Paul Keeley yesterday, and I'll tell you what, it's going to be a look through the legs.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to do it yet, Harry Skelton, does he?
The computer shut down. The trophy's there. It's all over.
I tell you what, now watch, just keep your eye on the Shunter here, all right? Because this is all over, right? Lamilos is going to go and take it up now, and a beautiful jump.
Beautiful.
Turning in, he's got some engine, the Shunter, right? He's about to run up there. I bet he gets second. Right, Lamilos is rode away. Off he goes. Wishing and Hoping is now absolutely cooked. He's been broken. Empire Still, come on for Graham's done in the third place.
Looking
You're
like
coming
he
up
might
to
get
the
a
final
place.
fence. All Lamilos has to do is to
jump
peck
it.
it. I don't know what the Shunter was doing on that far side.
Good jump by Lamilos.
He wasn't at it, was he? And the Shunter comes up. Would he even get second, the Shunter? I don't know. He's tying up a bit, Lamilos. Is this a...
Hold on, he's stopping.
Hang on.
Empire Still's going to get it.
No, he's over.
Go on, Empire!
No way!
Go on,
Unbelievable.
Empire!
He's picking up again.
He's
Lamilos.
done it!
He's been gubbed. He has been gubbed. Wow. That was in the bag, wasn't it? Is that a 101?
Got to be 101, has he not?
That must have been a 101. He got over about 5 lengths ahead. The people will be saying, Dave, can you please stop commentating? Because I called that absolute. I mean, your dad has had it right off.
I hope he survived that, because what a thrilling finish.
He might not be coming up from air, will he? That is absolutely.
Probably on the
drink your
floor
dad,
after
does he?
that.
So you'd have to a piece of cake instead. Well, my lord, we saved the most dramatic finish for last. The Shunter
Did
was
I hold
only
on?
third
Did I
there.
hold on?
I don't.
Did I?
That's a very good point. The points are being collated because he might be.
Has he gone too soon?
I'm not sure. It might be
I'm
close.
going to have to sink the chair,
It
Dave.
might be
I'm
close because the Shunter's got third, so
Shunter's
I've got a
got
point.
third, so you've got a point.
going down, Dave. This is this is
Yes,
not
sir.
good if I ain't
Oh,
winning.
we
You
had some
better give
fun
the
this
trophy
afternoon.
back.
This
You
ain't
went as
good.
quick as Harry.
This ain't good.
You were Harry Skelton there, weren't you? He hasn't. Do you think he's gone too soon? A lot of people be
No,
screaming.
I actually think what's probably happened is he's probably a little bit shy of.
How long does it
peak
take
fitness.
Mission Control to do these points?
Yeah, Mission Control have been a little bit sluggish.
Come on,
today.
Mission Control.
Come on, Mission Control. We want to know who's won
Quickly.
the trophy. And so does everyone else out there.
Oh!
It's a dead heat. It's a dead heat, you scumbag. Oh, there you go. I thought I was done. Well, look, that is Lamilos, and he's been touched off there. He must have gone, Mission Control. Find out what he went on. He must have been a 101 of that, mustn't it? Barry will be screaming and getting that out to everyone now, won't he? All right, there's scores on the doors. Look, we've had loads of fun this afternoon. So last show for the Cheltenham Festival. We're not on next Saturday, guys. We're going to have a little breather. We'll let you do so as well before we come back in your masses. We know you love the first day of Cheltenham. You'll be seeing us for that, G-Rod.
Yeah, I'm in the first day and the last day.
First day and the last day.
Very much looking forward to spending the last day with you and Melrose.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Gold
About to get
Cup
to
day,
come
of
back.
course.
Nat Graeme will be joining us for all that as well. You'll be down there all week, Batch.
There all week.
Don't go too soon during the week, all right? You've shown a
No.
tendency to do that. You shut the computer, you celebrated.
Well, I did win.
Yeah, all right.
Maybe a dead heat.
A
but
win of sorts.
A winner's
Batch,
a winner.
Been a pleasure having you back, man.
Always good to come in, Dave.
Always good. All right, well done to Mission Control. They got there in the end as well. So that has been it. The final Saturday before the Cheltenham Festival here on Racing Post Live. It won't be the last you'll see me, though, of Dave Orton this weekend. I will be back tomorrow evening. A preview with Dave Jennings, Paul Keeley and Tom Siegel himself. He only comes in once a year. Join us on our channel tomorrow for that, 6 p.m.
Boom.
Boom!